Hey guys, welcome to the Marriage Brokerage Firm. We are your host, the real Kay, and this is Tish, and we're so glad to see y'all today. Are the ones who will be joining us soon. Hey, how you doing?
Hold on, did you say the real K? Like there's
Yeah,
a fake one out there, girl.
yeah. There's a lot of different K's on YouTube. So
Oh,
yeah, it's like
gotcha.
probably 3 or 4 K's.
I
So
guess I could have come up with a more original name than K.
well, it
But
kind
it's
of
something
goes
I'll answer to, so
right. Is that? Oh yeah.
it's
So I guess that's the sexy hot name. Hey, before the billions, how you doing? Hello.
uh,
Uh,
who did you say was coming up later?
Nobody.
I could have sworn you just said someone else is coming up later, but okay, my bad.
None that I know of. Hello, before the billion. Hey, before the billions is here. Okay. Hey, Kay.
Hey, sweetie, how you doing?
So today we are going to do a how to. Hey, Vega, how you doing? Vega want to get these 10 steps to how to get a man, honey. Happy to see you.
I can't wait to see this list.
Oh, what's the list that we both concocted together? So we're
Oh,
gonna.
I didn't get to see the final draft, so I don't know what's on it.
Okay. So with the marriage brokerage firm, there was an article in a Time magazine where it's saying that over 60% of Black women will not be married. So Kay and I, with the combined years of almost 50 years of marriage, Kay did like
50? Did
third.
we say 50? Girls, stop aging us.
Well, I said combined, so you've done almost 30. I've done 10 and a few couples. So 10, 11. How many is it? 14.
That's
Oh, yeah.
40 something.
Yeah, 40 something years of marriage. Well, I was trying to make it sound a little more legit.
Okay, go
But,
ahead, girl. Knock it out with the 50. Go ahead, girl.
oh, you don't like that number 50, huh? You don't like that number 50. You don't like that number 50, girl?
Okay,
No,
we
no.
aging me up in here. I'm old enough. But go ahead.
Yeah, so the combined years of the marriages that we've had together, Kay is still happily married, as y'all will see in this slide. She is still very bubbly, very fun. And that's like the byproduct of a very happy marriage. But she has a lot of wisdom, and she will be able to say that it is hard work to keep a successful marriage. So she will have that. I've been married a few times, so I know a thing or two about getting married. So with the both of our wisdoms put together and combined, we should help y'all ladies bring that number down for over 60% down to a good cool 20%. I'm just joking. But I definitely believe,
Just making up percentages over here.
I
Oh,
know,
girl,
right?
we gonna get y'all down to
I'm making numbers
20%.
today. I'm making numbers today for some reason. um,
Okay.
they were saying that, with marriage, where I was going is, making, my brain,
I'm
mess up.
sorry.
Mm-hmm. This, oh, yes, come on.
Hmm?
Yeah. But either way, marriage is basically hard work. The numbers prove that there aren't enough black men to be black, yeah, enough black men for black women. But I mean, I'm proof that I've had three of them, and if I want to, I can go ahead and snag another one. So numbers don't lie, but it depends on the situation and how you navigate. So anyone who watches our channel, even if we're not talking about a how-to per se on how to handle marriage or how to get married, just watching us and see how, like I said, Kay's been married for almost 30 years. I mean, her energy is great. She's happy, and that's the byproduct of a happy marriage. I've been married a few times. I'm still happy and bubbly, and that's because, I didn't get run through. You know what I'm saying? Of course, I had my issues,
Thanks,
but what,
Vega. Go
huh?
ahead. I was saying thank you, Vega. Go ahead.
Oh, she said, well, y'all both look pretty. So pretty. Thank you, Vega. We're both happy. Yeah. Kay's like, why are you happy? But
I did not say that ever.
because
You
I'll sneak a
stupid.
husband in a minute, honey. I'll sneak one up on you. But so either way, so today we're going to do more of a how to, and this is the list that Kay and I we both put together, and hopefully it would help out, and it'll be great even for the gentlemen like the before the billions that's already here, and all the other gentlemen that probably will trickle in. what do y'all feel about this list? And do y'all agree or disagree or stuff of that nature? So let me see what my little trusty list is. I know you're so excited to see the list, Kay.
Yeah, I want to see what made the cut.
I know. Well, everything you said made the cut, of course. So
Really?
yeah, I mean, hell, you know what you're talking about. You know what you're talking
Okay.
about.
Okay.
Let me see. Where is the darn list?
What's with the music? What's that for?
Oh, I don't get it
Oh,
today.
sexy. What we getting sexy for?
For this marriage question people are going. And that's the part of the thing of being getting a husband. You gotta be sexy. You know what I'm saying? You just can't be like, my coochie, And the ones that be worried about not giving up their coochie, the man won't give up that something and still ain't got no man. Hey, where is my list? Hold on. Oh, here we go. All right. So the first, can you see it?
I can see it.
Oh, then I'm gonna put that there. If I can get it to stop doing that. All right. So the first thing on the list is to phase out. Have standards. Have standards. How do you?
Well, what does that mean to you?
What that means to me is have a standard on the type of man that you want to get married to in real life.
Okay, we're going to keep the music going because it's really distracting.
Oh, it's loud. For some reason, it's not.
I feel like I'm having to talk really loud over it.
Oh, okay. What about now?
Much better.
Oh, okay. So having standards. So having standards.
I was like, go ahead. I was like, because I don't hear it at all, so I figured you just cut it off.
Oh no!
I was like, yeah, that's perfect. I'm sorry. I promise. I will behave. Go ahead.
Having a good time. But anyway, having standards. So what does having standards mean? So it's a lot of F boys out there. Listen, if you have a standard of what kind of man you want to deal with. If you want a husband and you still messing around with F boys, that's not having a standard. Okay. Now, if you want to get it, get the dust knocked off every so often, keep that in its place. But I think, especially in a position of when you're older, well, I'm about to go down the other list. But having a standard. Put the music a little lower. Okay, we got done that. At work, bad single, much love, hitting the light. Thank you, Trash Can Waste. Thank you so much. Hold on, I think I need to put the music down. Hey, when you go, what's up your thing?
Bust up my what? I can't, what?
When you go, bust out your soundboard. The soundboard.
When I get settled, set up my studio. So I haven't been, I've been traveling.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. So,
I showed you that thing the other day, 10,000 miles already this year.
Yeah, let's not talk about that. I want to enjoy the show.
Yeah, I'm just saying. So that's why I haven't set it up yet. But go ahead.
On a quarter of the world, that was ridiculous. It says, yeah, that's a lot of travel, and that's ridiculous.
That's a lot.
I would not be able to stay away. But yeah, so having standards, especially, I hate to be messy, and I hate to say it, but as Black women, we don't have the standards that we should have. Okay, like I just really do not think that. And if y'all, whatever you have to say in the chat, please, give your input on that. But as Black women, I think we need to raise our standards. Like I said, if you mess with these, these F boys, that's not going to get you a husband. If you messing with men that don't have jobs, that's not, that can get you a husband. That's not going to get you the kind that you want. So just be, have your standard about yourself. Make yourself not unattainable per se, but have like an aura of standard so a man won't even come to you if he knows that he is not equipped to be able to be the kind of husband or be even husband material.
I'm also going to add realistic standards to that.
Okay.
have realistic standards. You definitely
Okay.
have to have some standards. They have.
Okay.
I don't shoot if F boys is what you want, go for it. Knock yourself out. Good luck on getting a husband.
Right.
But you can get fucked. but
Yeah.
that's about it. But that's what you
For
want.
the good,
You're not looking for a husband.
a good being F, but if you want a
You can
husband,
catch you a. You can catch you a what you call. What do you call them? Homosexual. You can catch you a homosexual. Yeah, they'll marry you. Uh,
yeah,
but you're gonna sponsor that fool forever. So yeah,
right.
let's not do
And
that
then they're going
either.
to cheating on you and still act stupid anyway. So why? So it's just I think we don't have these standards. We don't have the patience to have. When you have standards, you have to have a certain amount of patience. You have to see it through. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times, women will try to have standards, but then we see that we're not going out on dates. We see that we're alone for a lot of the time because of said standard. And
Hmm.
you have to, like a business or anything that's worth having, you have to give it the patience and know that the system is going to work. You know? Um,
Prayerfully,
right. Yeah. I mean, yeah, nothing is absolute, but definitely. What else?
except for the fact that that music is irritating my soul.
You said what?
I said nothing's absolute except that music is irritating my
Oh, you
soul.
can still hear it? Let me turn
Yes.
it curse you out.
Just saying, I can't.com.
All right, music off. Damn. But and a lot, and in my belief, yes, F boys are great. They're good at cuddling. They're good at keeping you warm. They're good at keeping
F
your,
boys cuddle.
huh? Some
F
do.
boys cuddle. Well,
Yeah,
it must
I
be
have some
during
F
cupping
boys that
season.
cuddle.
Okay.
Yeah, they cuddle. My F boys do. I don't have any F boys at the moment. I'm still on my going on 21 months and counting. Yay! But yeah, you can find a really good caring F boy. So yeah, if you do it right.
Okay.
But I don't suggest having F boys at all. Depends on what you want. If you want to me, this is on my opinion. I know you totally disagree with this, Kay. But if you want a husband, you have to don't deal with F boys because all they do is absorb all your energy, absorb all your good loving, and it makes you not really hone in on your on your goal.
I mean, I agree with you, but this goes back to what I sent you earlier in reference to getting ready for a husband versus
Mm-hmm.
looking for a husband. If
Mm-hmm.
you're still messing with F boys, you're not ready for a husband
Yeah. Bottom line, period. There
because
you
you're
go.
not looking in the right lane. I'm not gonna go to Lane Bryant looking for a size 2. They're not there.
Yeah. Very good. Yeah. Yeah. So have those standards. And how do you feel about black women not having standards like we should? Do you agree with me saying that or no?
I definitely agree with the fact that a lot of women give up and
Mm-hmm.
settle.
Mm.
When they don't see the prospects coming through, they say, okay, well, shoot, if I'm going to get married, I'm just going to have to, you know, pick from what I'm getting versus continuing to look for what they want. But that also goes back to the have realistic goals,
Mm-hmm.
realistic standards. You can't say, oh, I want a six-figure man, you working at McDonald's, you
Mm-hmm.
know, and you can't expect every man to walk in the door making six figures. Age
Right.
matters here, as some men in their 20s are making six figures, but most aren't. So, be realistic according to um, what's actually available. And then, if you're setting standards, oh, he's got to have $100,000 car. He's got to be making $150,000 a year. But again, you're not bringing any of that as well.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't sound real realistic. So,
Okay.
you know, set reasonable standards. My standards in my 20s would be
Mm-hmm.
he needs to be able to pay his own bills. He don't need me financially. Not necessarily he needs to pay my bills. He needs to be able to pay his, that kind of
Mm-hmm.
thing. Now, when
That
you're
was
in
in
your
your
30s and
20s.
your 40s, what'd you say?
I said that's what's in your 20s, you said. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. When you're in your 30s and 40s, you expect him to be more established. He shouldn't still be struggling in his 30s and 40s. I'm sorry. I'm not looking for the dude that's making $20 an hour in my 30s and 40s. That time has passed. I'm gonna need you to have some ambition about yourself, and if you do, then the money will come. That kind of thing. But beyond the financial side of setting standards, like you and I, we've talked about, I'm very different in my expectations. You're not going to speak to me crazy. Don't
Mhm.
curse at me. That's a big one for me. That's a deal breaker for me. You're not going to curse at me. I'm not going to curse at you. You're not going to call me out my name. You're not going to be disrespectful to each other. We're not going to set that kind of precedence in my house,
Okay.
in front of my children. Just one on one, I have zero tolerance for it. So yeah, I'll walk behind that. So
Mhm.
that's a deal breaker for me. But everybody doesn't have that particular standard. I see people curse at each other all the time, and I'm like, who? I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. What? As soon as you get mad, F you, no, fuck you. No, we're not doing that. I'm not
Mhm.
doing that. But that's my standard. May not be the next person's standard.
Yeah. So
But I
whatever.
don't think that's unreasonable.
So whatever your standard is, have that and hold on to it. It's not easy, especially as you get older. It's not easy, but you have to trust the process, and then it will work out. Like I said, the numbers show that there isn't enough black men for all the black women that are available. But like I said, it is possible.
But if the
Um,
numbers say there are not enough men out there, black
mhm.
men, for us, then how do we come to the conclusion that there actually is?
Because first of all, the people who want to be watching this, they're going to learn, so they're going to be a part of the group that will be able to get the husbands. So not everyone is like, they're not well, we'll go through the list on that.
Okay.
Number number two is have boundaries. So that was something you already mentioned, having boundaries. So your boundary is do not curse at you or around you, or
No, they can curse all day. Just don't curse at me.
okay. Right. So that's a boundary. And boundaries are so important, especially when you're trying to find a husband, because there are a lot of men who like I have later on in the list that has a representative, and they may be abusive. They may have certain traits that aren't feasible for marriage, or just even for dating. So whenever you have those hard boundaries, it is a protection for you. It's a protection for your heart. It's a protection for your. A lot of times, it can be a protection for your safety. So it's good to have those hard boundaries. So when they are crossed, however you want to handle it, if you want to like discuss it, and hopefully it doesn't happen anymore, or if it's a total deal breaker, then you know how to move accordingly. But having your boundaries is something good to have like beforehand, so and it's not something that should be ad lib as you go.
Well, I'm not going to say I would change that part as far as ad libbing, because sometimes you don't even think to have a certain thing on your list until you're presented with it. So sometimes you do have to ad lib a little bit,
That's a little
when
bit.
someone crosses the line. But you should definitely have some set in stone.
But at our age, like at my age, I know my boundaries. Okay, I know
Right.
I know my boundaries. You know what I'm saying? So and this is good to prepare, and that's how I know I've gotten into marriages that weren't right for me, because I wasn't prepared. I was not intentional, and then if you don't have a game plan, anything starts to go. Even if you're not in your right set of mind, or you never know how love goes. Sometimes love just pops up on you, or in my case, I'm like, I'm burning for a husband. I'm hot out for a husband. You know what I'm saying? But if I didn't have those boundaries, so whenever someone comes my way,
I
I
got you.
just ab living and things get really stupid. You know what I'm saying? So it's good to have those hard boundaries. Of course, when you're in your 20s, you got to find out who you are, what you like, what you can, and what you won't do, what did you put up with, blah blah blah. But at our
Hmm.
age, we should know what our boundaries are. And then
Okay.
very little ab living.
Well, I
Um,
just like, there was this, um this girl posted a question on one of those like Zane's, like Dear Abby type thing, and she was trying to figure out, should she try to make this relationship work? And there was this dude who wanted her to eat his ass, and no one had ever asked her to do that before, so it never occurred to her that she needed to have that as a hard no. So so she did it because she didn't, she hadn't already set her mind that she wouldn't do it. That's why I said sometimes as you go, because I wouldn't have thought in my 20s to say, I ain't eating no ass. I would, because who gonna put their ass in my face for me to eat it? Hell no, that's never gonna happen. So it would never occur to me to set that boundary. But
Yeah.
clearly, that boundary needed to be set.
Oh.
So he ended up eating his ass, and his ass was dirty. And
That's
then he
what
kept doing it.
and she kept going with it. Well, that's what she get. And then she gonna say
I'm
it's
like,
dirt.
at some point, I can't even feel sorry for you because what?
Exactly, because you went
He's
through
not
the
even presenting he's not just presenting his ass. First of all, I'm really curious as to, me. I want to know, what position are you in when you are tooting your ass up for somebody to eat?
you
I
always
just
want to
need
know
to know.
how
Are you
but
cocking your legs up like a little bitch? Are you bending over at the waist? So I just need to know, what are you doing? Are you sitting on a bitch face? How does this work? But she is what do you call it? He's not even presenting a clean ass.
that is oh my god, who's here?
Oh,
Ooh.
hey, the lead.
Hey, how you doing, Lee? Speaking of marriage, how are you? So good to see you. Yeah, so to do a recap, we're doing, let's see. All right, so we started off number one, and it lead. If you have anything to add, please do. Have standards. Number two, have boundaries. Like Kay was saying, if a guy wants you to eat his ass, I guess you ad lib that, but whatever. And number three, this is a really, really big one, really big one. And as women, we have women intuition. We do not use it. Or
At all.
another word for women intuition is discernment. You have to have discernment, and that's something I did. You know what? I ain't gonna lie. I did have discernment, but I just don't care. It was just like whatever.
You didn't listen to it.
Right. So yeah, you don't. Yeah, but women's intuition and women's intuition and discernment, the same thing. Women, we ladies, we have to have discernment. Even gentlemen, you have to have discernment on the person that you've taken as a person you want to spend the rest of your life with. Bottom line, period. If there's a red flag, and I guess red flags can come under discernment, so to speak. If there's a red flag or something of that nature, don't ignore it. Bottom line, period. Do not ignore it. Ladies, we have very, very strong women intuition. Use it. And a lot of times, men, and with guys, ladies, can be packaged up so sweetly and nicely. Maybe some of my husbands said that to me. I came packaged so sweetly and nicely, and then I turn out to be a monster. I don't know,
Hmm.
but a lot of times you have to watch out for how things are packaged or not in to be in a state of hunger. Because like right now, yes, I'm very hungry. I'll make it crystal clear I want to get married. I make it so crystal clear. I mean, I'm not playing around to the point I got no game about it. When a man come to me, we want to get married? What? No, okay, bye. Shit. You gotta be like that, Kay. You gotta be about it. But um,
Okay, body. Okay.
but when you have this, oh hey, the Gray Pill podcast, how you doing?
Hey, Grayfield.
But whenever and you're in a position like I am, when you've been single for a long time and you really holding out for that very special person, you have to trust your discernment and that quiet time. Like right now, I'm in a time of quiet. I'm not really dating. I'm really waiting and want that right person that's for me. I'm really honing in on my discernment. And it's not to say that I haven't had guys to approach me. I get approached all the time. But I have discernment on that's this. Okay, for example, okay, remember that guy a while back that lost his. He said his girlfriend died.
The one
And
you met in the grocery store that was gonna kill you in the basement. Okay,
right
that one. Go ahead.
I'm hungry. I really want a man. He was like a big 6'5" dude, muscular build. Girl, you don't think I want to climb on that? But I use my discernment.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. Because you was trying to make excuses for that mofo so you could go out with him. No,
No,
you did not use your discernment.
because I discern no, because that's why I discussed it with y'all. And I went up on a date with all of y'all instead of going out on a date with him because my discernment wasn't right, and I was thinking, well, what are you trying to say, Kay? What are you trying to say? What are you trying to
I'm
say?
not saying anything.
Hmm. So, ladies, you have to be in touch and you have to go through a period. And that's why you shouldn't mess with F boys because when you're dealing with F boys, it totally scrambles. It's like a software, it totally scrambles the program and you're just all out of whack. And if you want to get married, then you're just totally, you're not going to be making the right decisions. You're not going to be listening to what's right, what's wrong. You're going to purposely ignore red flags, and so it's just not yeah, it's not cool. Anything you want to add to that, Kay?
Um, well, it goes back to that whole representative thing,
Mm-hmm.
where when you meet someone, it's
Oh, I got that
easy
on
to
the list
fall in
too.
love with the things that they're doing. Did I jump ahead?
Yeah, yeah, I have your representatives. I have that on there.
I thought you meant. I'm sorry. I thought you mentioned it a
Oh, no, no,
minute
no, I have
ago.
it on
So
the list. I should have
okay,
sent you.
then I don't want to jump ahead. So no, discernment, girl. We good. You
Okay,
handle
so
that.
the next one on the list, and like I said, from both of our experiences, if you really go by this and whenever you have a list, you're not going to get all of the marks. You're not going to check off all the boxes. But if you at least get half of them, I can almost guarantee you're going to get a husband.
But you have to figure again. It goes back to the deal breakers. Some things are deal
We got
breakers,
that
and some
too.
things don't matter.
We got that too. We got that too. I should have said,
Honey.
why I didn't send you the list because sometimes you like to be surprised. And so I
Okay.
didn't see you. I knew you like to be surprised. But yeah, but I got that
Okay. Yeah, I prefer to be surprised sometimes.
I'll get sometime.
Well,
Okay, so
some things they blend into each other. So go ahead.
yeah, it did bleed
We'll
into.
talk about representatives later.
Mhm. Expectations. Number 4, have freaking expectations. And I guess that almost bleeds into number 1 of having standards. What are your expectations? Have expectations. As Black women, we do not have expectations. We just want a man. We just want a black. Sorry, this thing's hanging around. We just want a black man a lot of time. We have no expectations on how much money we want them to make. We don't have any expectations on how we want to have children with them, or they want to have children, or you just have to have expectations on what you want and work from the ground up with that. If they don't meet your expectation, I'm talking about like you would say reasonable expectations. It's not like work at McDonald's and if you want like a 7-figure man or because I do believe if you work at McDonald's and if you have a man that want to come take care of you, that's hypergamy. That's totally okay. The other way around, that's hypogamy. That's not okay. That's a but yeah, the other way around is cool. But have expectations. That was loud. I don't know what. But have expectations that on what you want. At this point in my life, like I like, younger men every now and then. But I know I'm not gonna be producing no children. So have the I need to expect or have expectations not to deal with men who don't want children or, I want a man to, that, at this point in my life, I want a man that's gonna take care of me. So that's an expectation. If I see that's a man who's still trying to figure his shit out, no, that's not a part of my expectations. I'm not doing that. Not at this point in my life. No, we're not doing that. we're so good on that. What you have to say, babe?
Nothing really. I think you covered that one pretty well. You have to definitely be realistic. You have to have some expectations. I remember I used to have a friend who was so excited that the guy she was dating opened doors for her. I mean, yes, when I tell you, I heard about that all the time, and I was
Only
sitting there going, "Why is this a big deal?" Why is this not expected all the time that he would open the door for you? But she was, and oh, and that he paid, paid for them to go out. She was so used to pulling out her wallet first,
Her
and I
expectations
was
were nothing.
low, next to nothing. And it's like, okay, he opened the door. Oh, girl, he won't even let me touch the door because he shouldn't.
Her
What the hell
expectation,
were you dating before?
her
You
only
had no
expectation,
expectations,
that's her only
huh?
expectation from it. Her only expectation from a man was that he had a penis. That was it. And then he probably didn't have to do that. He could be a eunuch, and she probably would have been
Mm.
just as happy.
It didn't have to be good dick.
Mm, that's an expectation. Oh, I expect good. What?
Okay, let's put that one high up on the list. That's high up on the list. Not just dick, but good dick. Okay,
Oh yeah, that's an expectation. Okay, that is so for real
come
expectation.
through.
Oh my god, I'm not even playing. I am not even playing. Yeah, so that's an expectation. So know what your expectations are. Just like the young lady that Kay mentioned, she's talking about she's happy that a man opened a door. That's an expectation, and sometimes you will get a clown that will be slow with that door. And when I see him walking slow to that door, I walk even slower. You know what I'm saying? That's an expectation. I sit in my car seat and I sit there, and it's an expectation you can walk around, you can open my door. So
Right.
little stuff like that. If you're not handling the little business as a woman, then you definitely not having the expectations of having a life with somebody. You know. So
Yes, certainly.
that's a very, very good example. What are other examples of expectation that women, baseline expectations that women, that black women find to be a treat that we shouldn't, like the opening the doors, paying
Oh,
for?
that he has a car or he lives by himself.
No, no,
I've
that's a
I've heard that as, oh my God, he got his own car.
that's a
I've known women that were handing over their keys to dudes. I'm like, you
no,
handed
that's
over something you spent your money on?
yeah,
He ain't put a dime on it, and now he has the keys. Then your keys and your house keys are together. Car keys and house keys are on the same ring. You done handed this man your car keys so he can get back and forth to work. He done dropped you off. He know exactly where your black ass at all day. He
right.
done dropped you off. Now he got your wheels up under him.
And that goes under not having any standards. That's not having any boundaries. Because first of all, if you have standards, you will not be dating a man who does not have a car. Okay, and we're talking about women in our age group of the
And I'm
proper
not talking about a man whose car is in the shop. I'm
right,
talking about he just don't have a car. Or no, we're not talking about the guy whose car has been in the shop for 6 months either.
right. I mean, even if he has a car in the shop, the expectation is that he will, he's gonna work it out, and he doesn't need my car. I mean, and if we're dating, I don't want to hear about your car problems. I don't want to hear that. That's my
I
expectation.
mean, we can talk about your car problems, but I mean,
I mean,
talk
you can
about it with a
talk
solution too. There needs to be
It's
a
just
solution
not
there.
the solution. No, I'm not
And
doing
I'm
that.
not part of your solution for your car. And I don't
Right.
believe he should be the solution for my car unless he fixed cars. Then, then yeah, I do expect you to fix my car. But yeah.
Right. Exactly.
Okay.
It's so funny. I mean, as women, there's certain things we should expect. And if y'all guys disagree, please say so. But I think there's certain things that women should expect from a man when it comes, like, for example, when I said, if you're having car problems, I don't want to hear about it. Now, if we are in a relationship, okay, that's one thing. But if we're just now dating, getting to know each other, and you already bringing me car problems, I don't want to hear that because that means you're not a problem solver. That means you're looking for help. You don't know how that's going to start and how that's going to end. Ain't no one trying to hear
Hmm.
that.
That part.
Yeah, that all
Okay.
that.
What's next?
The next part is you say know thyself, know yourself.
Oh gosh, yes.
And what do you
Yeah.
mean by that?
Well, some people get so caught up in I want to be married, and thinking that that's what's going to make them happy first, and they haven't taken time to get to know themselves. And you can't even fill out your list of what you want until you know who you are. So you got to know yourself because you got to come into the relationship as a whole person. No one's going to fill your gap for you. That's not what this is about. You got to come in as a whole person. You can't come in as a whole person if you don't know who you are.
Mm-hmm. Right. I mean, the same people who don't know themselves are the same people who are scared to touch their own vaginas. Like if you're not touching your own vagina, you don't know who you are.
Did we
Honey,
take it to the coochie? Did we take it straight to the coochie? I mean, shoot, you got to definitely know that part of yourself, damn it.
I mean, but the same people who, oh, I don't want to tell you, this is my vagina. Those are the
And,
same people who are not in. I mean, I know I was being funny and I was making a
right.
crass.
But I
uh,
agree with you.
Yeah, I mean, but you have to be real and you have to be in tune. Like I know myself. I know myself so well. When someone bitches about certain things I do or certain things I say, whatever, you know what I say now, okay, in my part this point in my life? I said I'm not for everybody. I know myself. I ain't for everybody. I ain't go. And
What?
it's okay. Shit.
I feel you. Look, I'm there. I'm there. It took me a while to get there as far as not realizing I'm not for everybody. Um, because I'm so likable.
Mm-hmm.
It always takes me off guard a little bit when when someone I don't want to use the phrase give me their ass to kiss, but
Mm-hmm.
when someone does me wrong,
Mm-hmm.
I don't get it. I'm so confused by it because I'm like, why would you do me wrong? I'm the last person you want to do wrong. But
Right.
it happens.
Right.
So I'm just like, okay. So,
Expand on
huh?
I said, do you want to expand on that?
No, I just had, oh, okay, I'll keep it brief. Just had a couple of different friendships.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I don't want to call them one-sided, but at some point,
Mm-hmm.
all of a sudden, I my the friend is an enemy, and I don't get where the transition happened because I
Okay.
don't know what I did wrong. Like, did I do something I'm unaware of?
When
What
you deal
went
with
wrong
other
here?
when you deal with other women, it's a lot of jealousy and stuff. So that's why.
That I have finally come to terms with is there's no other explanation. I've looked within thyself
Right.
to
What
see, okay, what did I do? Did I do something? Because I'm always willing to self correct, but
Mm-hmm.
then I realized it wasn't me. So
Yeah.
what is it? Hmm.
That's a good
What
thing.
is? I
That's a good
realized that I'm at a place in my life where uh most people cannot be happy for me. Because they're not anywhere near where they want to be. So yeah, but
I,
if you actually love someone, you're going to be happy for them
An
if they're
unhappy man is
happy.
the worst thing on earth, and an unhappy woman is even worse than that. When a person, especially in our phase in life, and they're not happy with their life, man, you got a problem. And it's nothing you can do about it until they work that on their own crap out. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
Yeah.
yeah, so that's good because you know yourself well enough to not dwell on the problems or the issues or keep ruminating on what you did wrong. You know yourself well enough to know you solid and it's the other person and in
Right.
case raw and raw. All right.
And that's important in all relationships.
Mm-hmm. Right. Exactly. Yeah. So dealing with and a good thing with knowing yourself, knowing thyself, is comes in really handy when you deal with certain men that may turn out, they start off good, but they start that gaslighting crap. They start
Mm.
gaslighting you. So when you
Hmm.
know yourself and you're solid on who you are, and that gaslighting starts coming about, then okay, it's not a me thing. You don't fall for it, and and that's that you cut it off. You move on to the next, or you just go through a season of just minding your business. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. Before the billion said, can they add not cheating to the list? Someone is trying to fill the gap. Wow.
Yes. That's very important. Not cheating. Definitely. That needs to be number 11.
No, that's a bonus one. We're gonna go into
Yeah.
that. Be a bonus. Let's see. The next on the list is, let's see here. Consistency. Now, this is the one you came up with, and a lot of times we take consistency for granted. Consistency, especially when you're trying to find a husband, you need consistently, right? Yeah, be the person that you are. Like I said, I'm not for everybody. I've told men that plenty of times. When they want to bitch and complain about this and this and that, I'm like, okay, I ain't for you. I mean, so be consistent on who you are. Be consistent, and if you want to find a husband, you have to, keep a routine up. Be consistent on how you look. Be consistent on your health. Be consistent on your inner modality, your spirituality. Just be consistent. Because if you're in chaos, how can you find a proper mate if you're not consistent within yourself? All you can do is just bring chaos into your own life, and there's two people who aren't consistent. Because men, you got to train them to be consistent. Okay.
Right. You stupid. But can I just, why Blake coming here blazing today? Blake said, who drafted these? He just came in here blazing. What? Hello to you too, Blake. How you doing? But I am definitely.
I would love to hear Blake's step. So whenever we finish out, I would love to hear what he disagrees with, because I think this is a pretty good list. Okay, what don't you think this is a pretty good list?
I think this is a decent. I haven't read the whole list yet. I'm trying to not jump ahead. That's why I keep going ahead by mistake, because I don't realize it's on the list.
Oh yeah, I put everything all you want on that list though. But you don't know what I put on my list too though. But yeah, Blake. I mean, like I totally agree. I totally think if you go by this stuff on this list, you're gonna get a husband.
Okay, so what was on this? Which one were we on just now?
Consistency.
Consistency. Yes.
Consistency.
Don't put forth the representative. Be who you are. Don't come as one. Don't act like, oh, I love sex and I'm gonna suck your dick every night for the rest of your life, and then you know 6 months later you get a blowjob on holidays only.
Right.
So be consistent, not just sexually. Don't present someone sexually that you really aren't. Okay. Don't present, oh, I'm the homemaker, I'm going to cook for you, I'm going to clean for you, and one, you can't cook or you don't like to cook, so you barely cook once you're deep into the relationship. Don't present yourself as a hard worker or an ambitious woman when that's not who you really are. Be who you really are, so the person that you're dealing with can fall in love with the real you.
Right.
Otherwise, you're going to be playing a role for the rest of your life, or you're going to drop the role, and your mate is not going to be happy because that's not who they wanted to marry.
Right. That is so awesome. Be consistently who you are. If you're not going to consistently, like you said, if you said, "Oh man, I'll just man, if you had two dicks, I'll suck both of them," and
Right.
if you're talking about I want to have sex with you every night, then you having sex once every 6 months. Don't do people like be real, because there is someone out there for everybody. There are some men who don't want, they don't want it every night either. You know what I'm saying? Or
Right.
there's some men who don't want their dicks up, whatever. But
I don't know where they are, but but on a serious, I know women that have gotten into a marriage or in a committed relationship, and they're not doing any of the things they started off doing. And and the women that cut off the sex and then get surprised when he cheats, those women absolutely amaze me. I was actually watching a movie earlier today. I'm gonna probably talk about it later, but you know if he cheated, I mean, I'm not saying he's right to cheat, but I mean, I understand. So,
are you talking about those women who they before they get married they romping every day, and then after they get married, like a year or two in, they having sex like every like holiday and giving a blowjob every 5 years and crap like that?
yeah, those women, yeah,
Don't do that. Don't ladies
yeah,
don't.
and that also leads into why a lot of men are fearful of marriage, because they're
Right.
talking to their married friends who talking like they can't buy no coochie in their own home. You know what I'm saying? They're miserable. She don't cook, she don't clean, she don't fuck, she don't suck, she's not doing anything. She's wrapped up around them kids. I still don't understand the parents that once they start having babies, they stop having sex because the kids are home or awake or what. Shit, lock
Yeah.
your door. I
Right.
don't understand how that works.
Or some women just have sex just to make a baby. And
Right.
once
Or withholding sex because he didn't dump the trash.
yeah, so ladies, we are very so it's not like, men are always blamed for not being consistent, and that is true, but ladies, we aren't consistent either. We aren't, and that's what, and Kay's been married, like I always say, for almost 30 years. You have to be consistent. Don't torture men because, like Kay said, men are weary of getting married because of they hear
They know
horror.
the change is coming. You're gonna flip it on them.
You're not consistent. You're not that person that you said you were. You gave, which is farther down the list. You gave them that representative. You was some sex siren that's gonna cook butt naked, and you're gonna suck two. If you had two, three dicks, you would suck all of them. You just do all these flips and do all this crap, and you ain't doing nothing. You ain't cooking. You ain't cleaning. You ain't fucking. You ain't doing nothing. And then it makes it hard on women, in general. But I hate to say, most women are like that. So hopefully here, we can hear, from women how that is rampant, and that is a cause for why men do not want to get married. I mean, look, Kay's we fun, we partying. That's how you're supposed to consistently, like how Kay is on camera, how I am on camera. That's how we are. We are fun. Well, if I'm not taking a nap, well, very rarely. But
Because this heifer love the nap. But I ain't never seen anybody get butt naked to take a nap. I'm like, they just leave it for 15 minutes. Why are you taking?
naps are very important.
Anywho, what's it called? Okay, so this week, my mom had to have surgery this week, so
Mhm.
um, um, I'm not home. I've been in town with her,
Mhm.
and my sister. So I'm staying at my sister's right now,
Okay.
and my husband was here. And when did he get here? I'm trying to think. We've been back and forth so much. Okay, because I went to Atlanta first, and then I came back from Atlanta. Okay, so he came down with me on Friday, Saturday. Yeah, let's go with Saturday. Okay, so he left on Sunday, and so um, I need some dick, right? So he was like, he called me yesterday. He was like, "Yo, I'm coming for dinner." I was like, "For dinner?" He's like, "Dessert." I was like, "All right." So he's like an hour and a half away. So he comes down, just for that, pretty much.
Wow. Her husband
Yeah.
drove down a couple of hours just to get some ass.
And he's gone again. Treat me like a $2 hole. I'm just kidding.
He loved it.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, thank you, appreciate that.
Did he at least give you $1? Shit. He leave a 20 under the nightstand.
Nah, I'm good.
Well, free girl, you gave it up for free? Girl, you a good hoe.
No, I got my orgasms. That was my payment. I'm good.
Okay, honey, that's $1 million right about now. Ooh, I would love to.
We good.
Anyway,
But yeah,
Blake Jameson said, he said, consistency is what everyone wants and needs in every aspect of our lives, not just a woman, whether water temperature,
I mean, but he's true. Think about it. These are things that matter.
all inconsistent, would you know? Uh, Women are definitely a less consistent sex. That is, I think men and women are. Well, okay. I'm gonna say that's true because we have such little expectations of men. Anyway, um, more than 69% traditional blow job situation. Like, if you can, you want do the pan. I would love to see what you mean by that. What do you think he means by that?
No, well, I'm gonna go back to the statement that women tend to be more inconsistent than men.
Okay.
I actually agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
I think, okay, once you get past the representative stage from either side, for
Mm-hmm.
men, once you get past that representative side, this is the real him, and that's what you're going to get forever and ever. Women, we change a lot. you know, we just keep changing. We
Yeah.
evolve, our mood swing changes. Men are pretty consistent. Once,
I expect
you get to know the real them, that's
no,
what you get. Hmm?
I say consistently not having to expect shit out of them.
Well, yeah. So I agree. Actually agree with men are more consistent once you get past the representative stage.
Mm-hmm.
That's
That's true. I agree. I agree. Dessert, the sex is an appetizer, then we eat for real.
why am I not seeing this?
I have it up on the screen, but it should probably pop
I
up.
know, but hold on. Let me go back in, come out and come back in. Nope, still not showing up on my side.
It probably is a lag. Um,
Okay, keep going.
let's see. Let's see here.
What's our
Uh,
next step?
as for step number 7, no
7.
deal breakers. I guess
Oh,
that's all.
see, that's how I jumped ahead earlier because I didn't read ahead. So yeah,
Uh,
deal breakers. That goes back to
boundaries
which
almost.
boundaries. Yeah. Yeah,
All
for me, like I said, talking to me crazy, that's a deal breaker for me.
right.
We will not be disrespectful.
Right. That's your only deal breaker? That was your only deal
I
breaker?
mean, you can't hit me.
Oh, okay. Well, just like,
I mean, I
some
thought that
women
was a given.
that the guy asked for to have his butt ate out. So to me, that's just like that's not even on my radar. Like, what?
Say it again.
I said that was almost yeah. Anyway, I
Another
just
deal break for me would be bad dick. Yeah, we can't. Not,
mm,
we got to have a good sex life.
mm. You know what though, Carrie? At this point in my life, I had a lot of good dick. I don't know if I mean, I can put up with mediocre dick. I don't have to have blazing dick. I had some blazing dick. I can probably
Mediocre dick means you have one orgasm. Is that what mediocre dick is for you? If you have no orgasm, is that okay? Consistently no orgasm.
I am open to having an
I'd rather be gay.
you're like, what the hell you're about to say? I am open to having I'm stressing you out. I am open to having an orgasm by any means necessary. So I think
But okay, but you're a pipe girl. So if the dick is lame,
I'm saying at this point in my life, I've
at
had
this point in your life, you are horny than a motherfucker and want some dick. Okay. So, and then you gonna get weak dick?
I'm sleepy. I'm sleepy.
Yeah. I'm not there.
See, this is how you mess up. Like I don't have. I mean, yeah, I'm saying that now. If I were to get some weak dick, then I'll be acting like a raging bitch.
Okay. We're not talking about a fluke. We talking about the next 15, 20 years of weak dick.
Ugh. Yeah, you're right. I
Just
can't.
don't give me none. We could just be friends and companions. I mean, there's no way I'm gonna constantly lay there or throw that ass in a circle for some lame ass dick. Keep
Mhm.
that. I'd rather no. Mm-mm. Where my rose?
Uh, I mean, I think it depends. He would have to have something that greatly offsets the bad dick. Like he would have to be like a millionaire. And long as he can make me come by some way, somehow, I think I probably get over
I can
it.
come and put some money in my account. Yeah, you have to make a big deposit for me to overlook that lame dick.
I mean, I think I'm at a point in my life where, you know,
I mean, okay, like okay, if he was to let's say he's a millionaire and he says you never have to work another day in your life. Yeah, maybe we could get past the orgasm.
yeah, I mean, as long as I do have an orgasm, like if
I'm gonna have a
he,
mental orgasm every time that deposit hit.
yeah, exactly, exactly.
No, I'm good.
Okay, right, all right. So I think I could get over it. I think I could, but it has to be a really good deposit on a habitual basis. But he can't talk no shit. No.
See, no, you can't have stipulations like that. Come on. Okay, next on the list.
Let me see how Blake said appetite, aperitif or digestif. What is sex for you? What
What
does
is
he
it?
mean?
Hold on. I'm not familiar with those words.
Yeah, so I'm pretty
Let me Google
yeah. Well, we'll let him explain. You see, Miss looking good. Okay, I'm not sure who you're referring to. I guess he's comfortable for us. Thank you. That would be a lane. That would be lane, to be honest. What are you talking about, Vega? What's lane? Let me see. How much of the woman orgasm is how attracted to him. Sense of humor, confidence, calm, and smooth in the bedroom, as opposed to the physical dick and stroke.
I'm sorry, I'm not having no orgasm off of chemistry. That just intensifies the orgasm. No, the dick got to be right. Fuck that. No, no,
You said I'm not having an orgasm off of chemistry.
no. That may enhance the orgasm. Maybe be better if we have really good chemistry. I mean, which we do, but
Hmm.
um, yeah, I don't care how sexy he is. If the dick ain't good, the dick ain't good.
Like, I mean, if a guy just comes quick, that would just turn me off. I'm like, dude, come on. I know it's good, but damn, I know it's what's the word I use? Exquisite. I know I have an exquisite snatch. Get over yourself. But no,
Girl, he
that,
came quick with the girl with the loose walls to stop it. Okay, go ahead.
I
He's
think that
just
would
a quick
I think that
comment.
would
He's
turn
a
me
2 second
off.
man.
Yeah, I think that would say. I think it wouldn't be good to not have a good sex life. Yeah, but Vega, when you get older like me, you just kind of like, because I have. Okay, I get over it. Anyway, the next one is, let me see how to get this out. Know your deal. Be
Was it?
intentional.
You should be intentional.
Yes,
Okay.
and I put that on because I am so intentional. Like, I'm not saying I'm perfect about it, but I'm not messing with no fuck boys. I don't even go out on dates. Only time I'm stepping out, getting dressed up, looking pretty or whatever you call it, I'm only gonna do that for someone I can see as husband material. Like someone that I can 70% see as husband material. I can see that there's no boundaries crossed. I have my discernment is pretty darn good. You know what I'm saying? But I think as women, especially when you're young, you fall in love and da 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 da. But that's why, but at our age, that's why the divorce rate is so high just in general because people lack intentionality. You have to be intentional. If you know what you want, get ready for it. If you work at
You
McDonald's
think that's why the divorce rate is high?
just because if you're not intentional, if you don't have your mind right, and then you just get like I had 3 divorces, that was not intentional. I was not intentional in getting married. I just get with these guys. They seem good. And, the sex is amazing. They ask me to marry, and I'm like, why not? That's not intentional. That's just like fuck it, why not? You know what I'm saying? So I just think, especially at my age, our age, I think we should be intentional on how to go about marriage. If you want to be married, don't okay. Let me clean it up. A lot of women, they will trick themselves to be like, I don't care if I get married or not. And they're miserable, they're cranky, because they're not intentional on their intent of what they want. Like if you want to be married, be intentional about it. Know and be bold about it. I want to get married and go through the self help, go through the spirituality growth, go through whatever steps to get to that point. If you want if I wanted a 7-figure man, then to be more attractive, I probably need to get closer to that mark or whatever. Just whatever you think it takes to raise your standard or to make yourself a more viable mate. That's what you should do. You should be intentional. But you don't think you should go by the seat of your pants. Hey, Poppy. Hey, baby. What do you think, hey?
Hey, Poppy. Let me see. Okay, I definitely think you should be intentional. Um, on that point of being intentional, there's the word dating. Uh, originally did not have that it didn't have the meaning that we have for it now. You know, dating actually had it's talking about the date. It's not talking about actually going out with someone and getting to know someone. They later added that to Webster, but originally that was not one of the definitions. In fact, if you look up the word dating, the definition as far as going out with someone or whatever, that doesn't hit to like the third or the fourth definition of the word dating. Whereas courting is very intentional.
Okay.
Courting comes, you're courting someone for the purpose of marriage. Dating doesn't even have the definition of, the intention of marriage, but courting does.
Mm-hmm.
So when you start seeing someone with the intention of marriage, you're actually courting. So I
Okay.
made that clarification there for the sole purpose of when someone says they want to date you. I think is at that point, you need to know, what do you mean by dating?
Mm.
Because if you're looking at the actual definition of the word,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not interested.
Mm-hmm.
So I want someone that wants to court me. I
Okay.
know it sounds like an old school term, but that's what it means. You're courting me with the sole purpose of wanting to marry me, and you're
Mm-hmm.
just trying to see if I fill in all of the blanks you're looking for me, or the checklist you're looking to check off. Um, that being said,
Mm-hmm.
I think dating is cool when you're young,
Mm-hmm.
and you're not really looking for anything serious. You just want to hang out with someone, maybe have sex, go out to eat, go to the movies, do
Right.
whatever, have some fun. When you're ready to settle down in life, uh, you need to do that with intention. You need to say, hey, this is the job I have available for you. Are you looking to fill this slot right here? So,
Mm-hmm.
like, I need to hang you an application. I need your resume, and we need to see if you're a good fit for this position, because I'm not looking for boyfriend. I'm looking for husband. I'm always
Right.
concerned when I see people that have been dating. Like, I was watching, one of my guilty pleasures now is paternity court. Was it paternity court?
Oh yeah, I like that too.
Yeah, yeah, but that actually wasn't what I was watching. I saw a clip from couples court,
Mm-hmm.
and this couple had been together dating for 27 years.
Girl, that's not dating. That's being an idiot. Because
I'm
he gonna
like,
be. Yeah, that's like, what do you? That's not being intentional.
not at all. I'll be damned. And you know what? It works for some people, and some people are cool with no marriage. And a lot of people that are against marriage are quick to say, "Well, what difference does it make? We're life partners, or whatever the case may be." Um, no, we're not gonna. No, if you haven't given me your last name, fuck you. I'm I'm good. I gotta bounce. I gotta find someone that actually thinks I'm worthy of their last name.
Yeah, and just
Period.
like yeah, 27 years, baby. And that's how, if you're not intentional on what you want for your life, if you're not intentional that you do want a husband, and then you're gonna end up, like Kay said, 27 years of being someone's dating someone. You slide down that rabbit hole. You don't have the boundaries where everyone have they set boundaries. Like with me, I would like to know someone and get married within a 2 year mark. You know, so if it starts to slide into that, a year and a half, and we ain't talk, by a year we need to be talking about marriage, okay? And if there's no talk of that, okay, then I'm gonna intentionally have to go. So when you set those boundaries, when you set, when you're intentional, and then you can kind of box off certain things, and it's good for the person that you're courting or dating, because they can, you can kind of see where they're coming from. If they're, slacking off, or they doing this or doing that, you already know that's not the one for you. Being
Right.
intentional is not screwing around with F boys. That is not intentional. That is not intentional for wanting a husband. You know what I'm saying? I keep going with the F boy because you're gonna waste a lot of time on F boys. They can keep you so busy.
All right, but again, if that's what you're looking for, you're not looking for a husband.
Right, is that.
If you're still entertaining fuck boys, then just gonna get fucked.
You're right. Get fucked. And don't be
Yeah,
whining about,
he gonna do his job. That's what he came for.
I want to get married. Where are the good men at? There's no good black men. Don't say none of that if you mess with fuckboys. You're not doing your part. You're not handling business. Don't complain. Don't talk about how there's no good men out there. There are good men out there. Anyway,
Okay.
people should
Now,
have
what's?
to, huh?
Oh no, go ahead. Go ahead.
People should have to answer a 20-page questionnaire, oh boy, for their potential mate, and discuss each other's answer and counseling before they're allowed to marry. That's a good idea. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that
Now
whatsoever.
I was I was this is interesting to me. And this is kind of off subject, but it's not. It's indirect. So I was watching the Gray Pills broadcast from the other day, and they were talking about
Who?
doing lie detector tests. The Gray
Who? On
Pill,
the Great Podcast?
yes. So, and they were talking about doing the lie detector test, on the first date. And I was sure that would throw some people off, but hey, if you don't want to take it, that means you have something to hide.
Or some
Okay,
people,
so
I don't know if I would be feeling that. I mean, first of all, I probably would feel it because I'm so full of shit.
right, but it's like I thought it was such a cool idea. Again, some people are gonna say hell no,
Right.
but at that point you've eliminated somebody who clearly has something to hide, right?
That brings a level of intensity. Well, it just depends.
You can
If
just
you're
knock some things right out of the box today. Let's find out. Okay, are you a liar? That's something I need to know. You're gonna sit
right,
here and lie to me while you're plugged up to this thing. Uh, do you have kids? Are you dating with intention, or are you just looking for a fuck buddy? These are
right,
things I need to know.
true.
So I thought it was a great idea. And of course, the guy failed the lie detector test that the girl set him up for. But she's not an expert. She's not certified in administering that test. But still, we knew he was lying from things he had said earlier on the date. But it was just the fact that that's a great idea. Let's just eliminate some of this bullshit off the cuff.
Yeah,
Let's ask about our deal breakers. I
right.
need to know. Have you ever hit a woman before? You know,
Yeah.
do you eat coochie on the first date? I just
Hey, Ray Alexander, welcome back. Hey.
hey, hey Ray. So yeah, I would definitely, I think it's a great idea to let's both take it. Hey, you can ask me questions too. Let's do this. Knock
Right.
out some of the BS up front, and then we can see if we can move to the second date.
Yeah,
I
that
think
works.
that's dating with intention or courting.
That's courting. We're taking away the word dating. We're talking about courting. Yeah, because courting is working towards marriage. Dating is this you just want something to keep you. You want a bird to huddle up for winter. Let me see.
Okay.
Let me see. Vega. Let me see. The Great Pill Podcast. Vega. I want a wife. Okay, so that's a man with intention. He wants a wife, and so yes, will he still smash different chicks? Probably. I don't know him. Probably yes, but it's up to us women. See, the Great Pill Podcast. This is an example of a good man who is bold enough to say he wants a wife. Now,
That's what I'm talking about.
but
Well,
a
if you come to North or South Carolina, I could hook you up. I know some people.
But a lot of women will screw that up. A lot of women will screw that up by not having any boundaries, not have, what I'm saying? Because a man's going to do what a man's going to do. And a lot of times they don't do it for malicious reasons. They do it because in the Great Pill Podcast way, he wants a suitable wife. He wants a woman with a certain kind of standard, a certain amount of mindset. So men do things differently from women. They tinker around with you. They kind of push and, just to kind of see if you're worth your salt. If you're the type of woman like me that's gonna say I don't have sex on the first date or whatever, and then you open it up on the first date, guess what? You're not gonna be his wife. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So just be real, or you just be honest. Do you really Great Pill Podcast? You haven't one in mind? He said, no good options on my end. Same here, Great Pill. Oh, then you want a husband, girl? Oh, this all's good, women. Let me see, Blake Jameson. There are things that a person may not want to admit honestly at first for the fear of rejection initially, but after getting to know each other, such interests may be overlooked or lessened in importance.
That's true. And I get like, okay, so let me ask you this.
Mhm.
Okay, and this is to anyone who wants to answer. Um, on average, depending on what state you're in, but let's say North Carolina, because I know their stats. One out of every three people have herpes,
Mhm.
one form or the other. If you could find this out day one, wouldn't you want to know?
Mhm.
But think about this as well. If you're the person with herpes, do you want to tell that day one? Because someone could shoot you down and not even give you a chance if they know right off the cuff you have
Everyone's
herpes.
Even someone else with herpes gonna shoot you down.
Okay.
I
That's
don't
a huge possibility.
turn the test gonna know their business too. You know what I'm saying? You just never know. So I like Blake what Blake say better. Certain, but you were talking about questions like, do you beat women? Like those surface
Right.
kind of,
Yeah.
what's
But
what,
you could get more as in depth with it as you want, but it's like questions you would typically ask on a date, on the first date of getting to know. I threw out the beating kind of thing because I think that's an important one if you ever hit a woman. But if you just want to ask the basic questions and see if you get truthful answers,
right?
whatever it is you want to ask on that first date, I just think it's important to know what kind of person you're dealing with, because they're going to tell you what you want to hear. They're not going to tell you the truth per se.
Yeah. So you say 1 in 3 people in South Carolina has herpes?
No, it's North Carolina, and
North.
actually it was in Charlotte. Those are the Charlotte numbers.
Oh God, I'm not dating no one from Charlotte. Screw
Yeah,
that.
so it could be but it could be herpes 1 or 2, but one can give you two,
Yeah,
and
and
two can give you one.
Vegas said on my news, they say the STDs that skyrocket. That scares me. And you know who the second highest group of people who have STDs are? The people like me who've been married, who's divorced, and so used to not using protection and stuff like that, and get a little lazy. And then it's just spreading. Even in nursing homes and stuff, they have STDs running rampant. All the
But you
residents.
know what? I get so concerned when I watch shows like Paternity Court. That's my fascination, and
All
I'm just
right.
like, I don't understand how you have so many baby daddy possibilities. All in
And
the same time frame, no condom. How does this work? What is wrong with these people?
how do you forget
So,
the big
but you
man?
can get people to wear a mask. You damn sure can't get them to wear a condom.
Sometimes like they have two different people on the show, and it's not even neither one of them. They're like, "Well, I don't know. There's something wrong with your test." It's like, "God, dog, how many dicks you had?"
No, that hoe is a hoe. She is
She,
a hoe. But how you ran up in a hole with no condom? Talking about she been with everybody, but you went in there without a condom. You
you
knew
too.
she was a hoe before you got in there. This is not news to you.
Let me see. Let me see. The next one is, and we're almost done. No representatives, and we already touched base on that. Referring to women, how we talk about, we're, before we get married, we just, like Caleb to say, throw that ass in the circle. We just giving up all this ass. We cooking butt ass naked with just an apron on. We just bacon and we just all this bullshit. I mean, I'm sorry, all this stuff.
Yes, aprons of lingerie, just for the record.
And then when you get married, you sucking dick every single day. And then when you get married, beep, beep, flat lie. You know what I'm saying? That is not right, ladies and gentlemen. And men are very much, known to have Vegas looking for a black husband. But men are very known to have representatives. But like you said, Kay, once you get, if you do your job, if you have the boundaries, if you have your expectations, if you have
Hmm.
all of that and bust it down, a man is going to be who they're going to be. They can't hide it. But women, we can just morph into all kind of different shit just to close a deal. You know what I'm saying? And that's not cool. Don't do that. That turns away men who don't want to get married. They don't trust
Hmm.
marriage. They don't trust women, and they get into this mindset of, oh, all women are the same. No, 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 no. Not all women. Some women will. There are women out there that will suck your dick every other day if you want. They will still have sex with you every day. There are women that do that. Just take the
Yep.
time to find it. And women, beef up your game. And I mean, it's more than that. I mean, but women who allow you to go out with your friends. And then all of a sudden you get married, they don't want you to do shit. You know what I'm saying? They don't want you to go out with nobody or this is all
Have
well,
fun. They want to suck all the fun out your life. You can only
you know
have
what
fun
I'm
with
saying?
them.
Exactly. Like, all of a sudden you're so cool, you're such a cool fiance, you're such a cool chick, and then you're a raging bitch that just wants, man just to bitch him out all no, 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 no. You can't have that. Well, ladies and
Yeah,
gentlemen,
women hold up that representative a lot longer than men do.
yeah,
And then, but the problem with women, and that goes back to the discernment, and um, you got to be realistic about what you're dealing with. That representative that he presents, he's so sweet, he's so this, that, and the other, and then eventually you start to notice he's not doing that stuff he was doing. He's not as sweet as he was. He's not as considerate. I don't get the morning texts anymore, or the phone calls, or the random surprises. None of that stuff is happening anymore. And you're like, but that's who you fell in love with. So you keep hoping that person comes back. You're like, oh, I know he's there because I met him, so he's there. That person's there. But what you're getting now is who he is. So
Yeah.
you have to determine if that's who you want to deal with or not, because that other person's gone. He just,
And then
did
like
all that to get some ass.
right, and then like you said, have reasonable expectations too. It's reasonable to not for someone not to carry on being all that sweet. Of course, you go through the honeymoon period, so it's reasonable not to expect the honeymoon period to last forever. But if there,
Right.
but you know what? I missed one of the important things off that list. I think I did about love language. Know your love. I missed that.
Was
Yeah,
that
know
the
your
last one?
language. So
What's the last one?
the last one is have fun. And I don't know how I missed the most important one, know your love language. So we did a
I
show.
can't. Yeah, I can't see it that far down.
I'll clean it up. Let me see. Ray Alexander says there's a book titled 101 Questions to Ask Before You Get Engaged, and another book titled Before You Say I Do, both by H. Wright. H. Norman Wright. And those are both books that would be great for being intentional and because you don't want to just get married. I mean, I've been just married, but you want to have a successful marriage. You want to have a mate that you can actually have a life with and build with. So when the times get difficult, you don't lose your patience and just all kind of crap. So let me say, Poppy, I highly doubt Tish is throwing that ass in a circle and cooking anything. She lives off of Breeze. Poppy, leave me alone.
Okay, well, Tish, that's actually a good point. Let me ask you this, okay? Because I know you're a really good cook when you feel like cooking.
Right.
So, if you were a stay-at-home mom, not stay-at-home mom, stay-at-home wife,
Mm-hmm.
okay, would you cook every day?
Oh yeah.
You
Oh
give up
yeah.
your Uber Eats?
I mean, all I do is me. It's just me by myself
I
and my dog.
know.
And sometimes my dogs want certain things from Uber Eats.
Okay. All right. So you think you could be content to be at home?
Yes. Oh yes.
Good. As long as you get your nap time, you good.
Yes. Oh shit.
I
Oh
ain't
yeah.
mad at you. I ain't mad at you.
And I would give up ass every single night too. That'd become my job description. Listen, I work at Walmart pharmacy. Okay, like staying at home and throwing it back would be a pale in comparison to the bull crowd I go through at work. Okay, and that's my job to fuck
Okay.
and cook and keep a house clean house. Girl, I'll have all that shit done in an hour.
Say that again. Say that last part again.
I have all that shit done in an hour instead of spraying out my whole day at work. Girl, bad. You see, Ray, I think that when you are with a person in the right place in life to have a good relationship, it almost doesn't matter what the answer to the questions would be at the outset. Ooh, that's not true, Blake. Let me say, Vega, obviously we know you white, but I want to know, can you throw the ass in a circle? It could
Oh
pop
yeah,
up.
drop the link.
Okay. Oh, okay. Let's see. Sorry, Kay. Kay's like, I'm not in the mood for no bullshit tonight. Let's see. All right, y'all. I'm dropping the link. Let's see. Real Alexander, Blake German said true. But for lots of people, having premarital counseling as well as postmarital enrichment experiences are very helpful. I would
I
agree.
absolutely agree with that.
Mhm.
Counseling is good. Sometimes you need that third eye, one that's unbiased. But more importantly, that premarital counseling, and again, I've said this before on here, do not get that from your pastor. Take your behind to an actual professional. Okay. Keep the pastor and everybody else out your business. Go to an actual professional and sit your ass down and do some counseling before and after marriage. Um, Sometimes like what we learned, because we went to marriage counseling, what, about 11, 12 years ago.
Okay.
And what we learned in
Mhm.
counseling was, I mean, he really just, he couldn't hear me. And even
Mhm.
though I could hear him, uh, I had shut down acknowledging it, if that makes sense. Like, yeah, I hear you, I don't give a fuck what you just said. That
Mhm.
was kind of how I was thinking. I didn't say that, but that's what I was thinking. And he just couldn't hear me at all because he was so, um, trying to
Biased,
phrase this, huh?
biased in his own thoughts.
Um, I think at some point he started to feel like I think he realized I was running more than he realized I was running.
Mhm.
And, and he was trying to pull back those reins. It was too late. I've been going buck wild all the time. You can't just can't pull me back in. So it was a mostly a battle of wills. And
Right.
so I stopped listening, even though I could still hear him. I stopped listening, and he wasn't able to hear me. And
Mm.
so when she would break down what I just said, I use all my words. I don't cut corners. I don't try to give you the short version of anything. I say exactly what I'm thinking so that you can fully understand where I'm coming from. But
Before the
when you
billions, so
shut down, huh?
before the billions want to know running for what, but you meant running. He
I
knows
know,
your.
no, I meant running everything as far as our household was concerned. And um, I think at some point, even though this was never a requirement, I think he felt as if he couldn't do something without asking for permission. And that has never been the way I think for damn sure.
Mhm.
But I think he had put that in his own head because it
Okay.
wasn't true. It was never, you got to check in with me before you do this. So that's not how we work. But he had, I think there was someone in his head, and I'm not going to call no names, but somebody was in his head. And so I think that's what the problem was.
Okay. Let me see. That's funny. It's on his head. Let me see. And the last is it the last thing? Basically have fun and be joyful. Well, before we go into that, like we this is not on the list, but like know your love language. We know that there's such a thing as love language. So like Kate was saying, if you met a guy and he would do the good morning text and he would surprise you with gifts, if gifts is your love language or acts of service or whatever your love, if you want to be touched or whatnot, if those are your love languages, you want to be able to know that about yourself and portray that information to your mate or the potential mate, and also learn his love languages so you can be on the same page and speaking the same language, so to speak. What?
I'm laughing at before the billions comment. That's a Tasha K. That's
Uh,
Tasha K line, but go ahead.
I'm in it, but yeah. So just like know, so that's a good one too. You just know your love language, and then the last one is, and y'all not, yeah. Shout
She
out to
should shout out to Tasha K. But go ahead.
he always know every reference. Yeah, be joyful and have fun. If you're out there dating, ladies, if you want a husband, yes, getting a husband is serious business. It is serious because this is your life. A good man or a good woman, or excuse me, a man or a woman can make or break your life. They can just I've been lucky where I didn't have any like super messy divorces or anything. But what about? Damn, I wouldn't have probably gotten married so many times if I had anything that just was out of check. But when you have someone in your life, you want them to be add on to your life, not someone who's gonna be a problem or a nuisance or just take away from your quality of life. But be joyful, be happy, have a good attitude, be fun, be sexy, and even after, be real with yourself. Touch your own vagina, know what your body's about, know who you are, just be happy, and that would attract the right kind of energy and fun, but also, at the same time, have those boundaries. You can be sexy, fun, and playful, but be like, you didn't open my door. You can still get your point across and have fun and stuff like that, and autocorrect misbehavior if that's okay. Let's see. It's amazing how far just a simple smile can take you. It doesn't take much to keep a person afloat. That is true. Like sometimes you can run it. Like I know this guy, he has the most gorgeous smile. You know what I'm saying? Like he's always, looking so serious. And he just smiles. I'm like, oh, okay, you're cool. You're nice. You know what I'm saying? So this is simply so much better. Who came up with that list? So guys, I would like to know because I hear a lot of bitching
Just
about.
put the list up one more time so I can see the whole thing.
Oh, okay, hold on, let me see. It keeps. I did it in an annoying way where it doesn't stay. Let me see if I can freeze it. Can I freeze it? Ah, shit. So to do a recap, have standards, have
Okay.
boundaries,
I don't know if I caught it or not. Yeah, I caught it. Okay, I did. I wanted a screenshot of it.
have discernment. I can send it to you too. Have expectations, know yourself, be consistent in who you are. Be consistent in who you are. Know your deal breakers. Be intentional. No representatives. Be real and have fun and be a joyful person. Anything else you think we're missing on that list, Kay?
Mm-hmm. Well, again, I think the list is how to prepare yourself for marriage, not necessarily how to get a man. I don't. You can't go get a man with those attributes. That's
Yeah,
how
man.
you prepare yourself
Girl.
for, huh?
I said you gonna rope them up. Have them rope up.
This is how you prepare yourself to
That
be marriage material, because just wanting to be married does not make you marriage material. Excuse me, I said that wrong. You have to be good with you, and you definitely have to know how to have fun and loosen up, and just like for instance the movie I was watching earlier. It was a good movie till the last 10-15 minutes of it, but
Mhm.
it was a family man, two daughters and a wife, and financially he's taking care of everything. She's trying to start up her own business, and she's so focused on the kids and her new business that she is totally neglecting her husband. And,
Mhm.
he can't buy no ass at home. He's- you know, and
I know that.
and then a coworker catches his attention. He didn't actually sleep with the girl, never kissed her or anything, but they
Mhm.
did go out to dinner, and the girl took pictures of the two of them together. And when he rejected her, because he was like, I was wrong for letting you think that was okay. And
Mm.
she got mad and sent the pictures to his wife. And yeah, it was just a whole mess. And she's all like, how could you? How could you? And I'm like, bitch, you ain't
Exactly.
get that man no ass in 4 months.
Yeah.
You better be glad he didn't fuck her. I'm just saying.
That's a
So,
movie. Clearly, he would have. But go ahead.
and her married girlfriend kept trying to tell her, like you need to treat your husband better. You need to make time for your husband. You need to do this, but she's not listening because she was like, I'm not about to be worried about his grown ass. I got to take care of these two girls.
Mm.
You can do both.
Right. You get the women
You can do both.
we are designed to be nurturers. You cannot.
Exactly, but she was only nurturing to her girls.
Right.
She didn't give two damns what he needed. And then she finally, I mean, these kids are like 7 and 8 years old. She let them go spend the night with their grandparents, and he still couldn't get no ass because this heifer want to FaceTime with the kids. No, come on now. Come on
Oh,
now. He got the rose petals. He done bought the lingerie, the champagne, got a dinner and dancing, and still couldn't get no ass. I'm just like, come on. You are pushing him out the door. She couldn't, he would try to be fun loving, and she would just look irritated when he just wanted to flirt and play with her and stuff like that. I'm like, you should be excited that your husband wants to flirt and play with you years into a marriage. That's what he should be doing. But
mhm.
yeah, if you're not reciprocating, eventually that's gonna stop.
Mm.
So you got to learn how to have fun and keep things exciting, and just be adventurous. And there should be the word no shouldn't be a part of your vocabulary every day.
I mean,
You got
Kay,
to jump on in.
how long does it take to roll over and boom up and give your man some ass? How long does it take?
I mean, it depends on how long it's been since the last time I bent over and gave him some ass. Which, so like, if
It's
you're
not.
like every other day, every couple of days or whatever,
Yeah.
yeah, that's
It doesn't
15,
take.
20
My point
minutes.
is, my thing is, it doesn't take much. I mean,
Right.
why?
Well, it depends depends for some people because if he's a long-winded man and he every time is an hour and a half. Whew, Lord
No,
have mercy. I was listening to was it Minka on Grape Hill was saying, I'm good at 15 minutes, 10, 15 minutes, I'm good. Ain't nobody trying to have sex all day. But I mean, that's what he wanted. I make it work.
I told a friend of mine, if you can make me come in an hour, 1 minute, a minute and 1 second, I'm okay with that. I don't
Yeah,
care.
see, I can do that, but here's the problem. You know me, I'm gonna get mad if I only have one orgasm. We got a
Right.
problem. Houston, we have a problem. That's like giving me one chicken wing. Stop playing. Why are you
one,
playing with me?
one lace chip. Let me see.
One
Blake,
lace chip. Mm-mm.
Blake
What
says,
is that?
I'm not sure that there should be any boundaries in a marriage. What do you think about that, Kay?
Well, it depends on what he means by boundaries.
Right, exactly.
You mean
Um,
sexual boundaries? Are you saying he should be able to slap me every once in a while? I mean, what are you saying by boundaries? I need to know what you mean by that before I can address it properly. Let's see. Lead attorney said for a man to get married, he needs to have a prenup, self awareness, and a really good reason.
right.
Okay, apparently love is not considered a really good reason, I'm assuming.
No, marriage
Um,
is no, that was
a prenup. Uh, I'm not against the prenup per se. Um, assuming, I mean, what a man wouldn't need a prenup if he doesn't already have something, or is he doing a prenup on future gains? I know that's a possibility. You can definitely say, well, for whatever I make in the future, this, that, and the other. So here's my thing. If you spend 20 years with someone and eventually you grow apart and you want to go your separate ways, nothing you did alone. I'm sorry. I refuse to believe that any marriage, that wife just sat there and did not contribute to whatever it is you built. And her contribution could have been something like her keeping the kids so that you out of your hair so that you could focus on your business plan or whatever case may be.
mhm,
Or maybe she didn't work so that you didn't have to worry about anything at home. She took care of everything at home and you worked, or she worked so you could focus on your business, and then eventually your business took off. Now if she was no help to you at all, then I mean, by all means, leave her with nothing. But I just refuse to believe that. I mean, I know that there are cases, there's an exception to every rule. But if she didn't contribute, then she doesn't deserve anything. But you want to leave her penniless, or are you going to do a prenup that allows her a certain percentage or whatever? So she can't take half, but she can be taken care of.
right,
There's a difference. I don't believe if, you know, you've accumulated $100 million, she need to walk away with 50. But if you've accumulated $100 million, you can't give her 10 or 15.
right,
I'm just saying. Yeah, half is ridiculous. I've always thought half was ridiculous. Unless y'all were literally partners in this and her name is on that shit. Both of y'all work this business or whatever it is you've accumulated together. Then yeah, half is different at that juncture. But if she's been your partner in marriage, a true partner in marriage, there's no reason why you should want to leave her penniless.
right. Some people turn to asshole. What do you think about that really good reason? And before the billions, I would love to know, what do y'all men, if y'all come up on the panel, what do y'all consider a really good reason? And I know it was said on this live before, if a woman is not taking off a load or being inspiring or something, it's why would a man get married? Why would a man, like,
Right.
technically, why would a man get married when they could get free ass, they get to see you whenever they want, you have no bound, why would a man get married? You're not intentional, you have no boundaries, you fake, you giving him all the ass he wants because you just faking it anyway, faking as in, you're not gonna do it after marriage. Well, why would a man get married? So I mean, like before the billion said, from what TLA said, having self awareness, like you were saying, know yourself, know thyself. No, you're not for everybody. I mean, if you're a hard man, or if you're a very judgmental man, or you just want all this and all that, sometimes, some men are on this pedestal or whatever, and they just need that woman that's gonna, they have to kind of admire or look up to. But as women, we bring so much. We both, men and women, we both need each other. We both, men bring that strength and that, protection, that covering, and women, we bring that softness. And a lot of times we take for granted just listening to someone and being that, that foundation of softness and something to come home to that you definitely and
Mhm.
you take that for granted. And a lot of women, they just bring chaos. A lot of men, they just bring chaos. Vega said it's very important not to neglect your spouse. That is true. They did say that's why men are leery of marriage. Exactly. They are very leery of marriage. Very. And I'll be honest with you, I don't.
Mhm.
40 billions is ready to jump the broom. Is it not? Is it not supposed to be an hour and a half? But 40 billion is you, a young buck. So yes, for you, it's supposed to be an hour and a half. But once you get older, once you know how things work and what makes you come, you just get it done. Just get her done. Like sometimes I like
I
the
mean, it's cool. Don't get me wrong. An hour and a half is cool, but we're not doing an hour and a half every night.
All right. I used to love marathon sex with my last husband, because it gave me a nice workout and stuff too. So it was like a 2-for-1 deal. But golly, I went to work haggard. I was so exhausted. Ugh. I was kind of done. I was, oh, shit. Everyone be like, what's wrong with you, Tish? She said, you got the flu?
No, no. My coochie hurt.
Oh, yeah, I got the flu again. Let me see. Is you married, Tish? It's a guarantee she will leave you. Oh, shut up, Poppy Blanco.
Poppy be riding your ass hard, okay?
I don't have any of the three. Oh gosh. Let me see, Blake. There should be an enforceable marriage contract before the vows are said, but that's not the case. Prenups don't just address money, ladies. Okay, what else do they address? Let's see. That matters. What if she was a homemaker and has no job skills? That would be devastating. He suddenly leave her destitute. Yep.
Right, absolutely.
Yep. I mean, and he should just like men, I've seen some shows where men like, well, I could buy a nanny, I could buy someone to clean the house. Okay, then well
Okay,
what
then do that.
nanny, what you would have paid for to keep your house clean or whatever, then that's where you need to multiply and give to her. How about that? Anyway. Before the billions, right? Alexander says lots of high income women also require prenuptial agreements. True, music producer Candy Burris required a prenuptial agreement before she married Todd Tucker. And that probably gave her the peace of mind to be able to be functional in her marriage, especially with her mom, like, always down. Oh, hey, Blake, always downing her and stuff like that. The marriage. Hey, Blake, how you doing, sweetheart? True. Before the billions about had a night about being married without a prenup. Oh, okay. They say she'll never leave penniless, even if there's a prenup. I can come up with like in like 5 minutes. Facts. Alexander, 10 to 20 minutes is good. Gotta say pineapples. Pineapple juice. Hey Blake, what you talking about? What you talking
Good
about?
evening. Good evening, ladies.
Hey, Blake.
Do,
What's
what
popping?
what what did you want to investigate this evening after your list has been drafted and exposed?
Hold on, can you keep talking to him? Let me get my thing. My thing is all messed up.
Okay,
Oh,
what do you want to bring to us tonight, Blake?
Oh, I don't know. I just enjoy the
Us-
conversation wherever it leads.
Okay,
Of
You're
course, of
you're,
course. But I'm sure you got a viewpoint on the list because Poppy said our list was bullshit. I believe you said our list was bullshit too. So,
yeah.
no, I
Well,
didn't
or
say it was
implied. You
bullshit.
implied
It,
it
it,
was
wa-
bullshit.
it was a bit vague. It was kind of like superficial, I would say. I did like the consistency part, though. That was very appropriate. Like I said, that
Okay.
consistency is something that everybody looks for in their life. It's kind of an unsure world, and you definitely want consistency in a partner.
Yeah, I like some consistency in these gas prices right about now. I would like for it to consistently be under $3 a gallon.
Well,
Yeah, I
exactly.
definitely, I'm a big fan of consistency. I need to know what to expect from you. Not to say I don't like surprises, but well, I really don't like surprises, but um, I like consistency.
So Blake, what is it? Do you disagree with anything on the list? Hello, can you hear me, Kay?
I can hear you.
Oh, okay. So I guess he got stuck. But yeah. So do y'all? How do y'all feel about the list? I mean, it may be pretty vague per se. But we had a list and we were fulling, fleshing it out or whatnot.
Hmm.
Yeah. But I think it was a pretty damn good list to me. I mean,
Hmm.
because it's when you're dealing with love and stuff like that, it's not that complicated. We make it complicated, but if you just have rules, guidelines, and regulations, it's really not that deep. I mean, it's just all about the X factor of finding the right person that's right for you. But a lot of times we can just get people. People can be all over the place. I mean, I can be all over the place, but if I can get a man to kind of rein me in, I can be a damn good wife, right,
You
Blake?
need a man to rein you in.
Yeah, after I
You
take a
want you want
after
a man to rein you in, girl.
after I take a nap, then I get a little wild.
I think that's one of the things my dad said that he liked about my husband was
He know how to rein you
it
in.
felt like he had me under control. 'Cause everybody refers to me as a rebel. Everybody thinks I'm a rebel. So,
Uh-huh.
um, but I'm so traditional. I don't know why everybody thinks I'm a rebel. But I do have I'm
A wild
feisty.
streak. You're
I'm
right.
feisty. Yeah, I'm feisty. So that could
Kay,
be it.
Kay, does he make you calm and secure? Does that subdue
Oh,
you?
definitely, definitely.
Mhm.
Very
Yes.
calm, very secure. Um, my wilder inclinations, they kind of just woosah when he's around. Yep.
Wow.
They got a cap on them, huh?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. You know, I can cut loose with him. Please understand, we have a really good time together. But yeah, I feel very secure when I'm with him.
Wow. That's awesome.
Like I used
I
to
mean,
say all the time when we travel, that I can be adventurous on my own, but there's some things I would never think to do because I'm by myself or I'm with another female or whatever. Or when I'm with him and he wants to do some old bullshit that I would never think to do, I'd be like, that wasn't on my list, but okay, let's go. I feel good when I'm with him. I feel like he's got me. I'm covered. I know if we get lost, there's no such thing as getting lost when he's around. That's just not going to happen. But I know if we have car trouble, I know he got me. I mean, he's fixed my car on the side of the road before. I was driving somewhere and car stopped. He was like, "Okay, I'm going to come out there," and he fixed the car on the side of the interstate. I know if he's with me, we're good. We've gotten stuck in the mud. Sit in the car. I got this. We're in the car. Where are we going? Just recently, a couple months ago. Well, maybe in the fall. I don't remember. We were on the road, and my he was driving, and all of a sudden we lost power or whatever. I don't remember what was wrong, but I called for a tow. He was like, "Hey, tow it to the auto zone or whatever," and we went to AutoZone and he fixed the car right there in the parking lot of AutoZone. There's just something about that that's so damn sexy. I was out there taking
right.
this picture. I was like, this is the most sexy shit, right?
And then
um,
having a man in your life, and a woman in your life, having that right person in your life, it brings so much peace because I'm single and like when my check engine light comes on or whatnot, if I need an oil change, even just need an oil change is stressful to me. I don't like I just cannot. I would just so much cannot wait to have that man that is like I don't even have to think about crap like that. You know what I'm saying? Just
right,
stuff that that you do take appreciation to. You don't take for granted, but a lot of women. They men be doing all, keeping the car clean, doing this, do that, and it doesn't even register to them. I'm at the point in my life now. I'm like, man, that is so awesome because I'm tired of doing every fucking thing myself. Blake,
yeah, like my sister's husband. He's like, uh, he goes and he takes and gets the car washed for her. Now my husband doesn't do that, but I do that sometimes.
Mhm.
You know, I'll just take the cars or the trucks and get them washed or whatever. So he doesn't particularly do that, but her husband did that. And then my cousin was here the other day, and he just happened to ask her. He's like, he had just taken my sister's car for to be washed, and then when he got back, he'd asked my cousin if she needed anything. She said, "You could wash my car." I was like, I can't believe she just said that. But he was
Uh-huh.
like, okay, let me hold your keys. And he took her car to get it washed too. I was like,
Wow.
don't get her used to that bullshit.
I know.
But yeah,
So,
he's just awesome like that. My husband's awesome like that. You know, whatever you need, they got you covered. You know, um, I can't think of anything he can't do. So, you know, I sing his praises all the time though.
Right. I mean, and that's how, I mean, this is almost 30 years of marriage, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, you see that glow she has, that happiness. I mean, she's
Girl, that's
still,
my ring light. I'm just kidding.
yeah, the admiration and love she still has for her husband. And it wasn't, like any marriage, you have to work, but, they did the work and that's where they are with it now. I mean, and that's what the beauty of marriage is beautiful. What do you have to say, Blake? Hello. But
Like the lost his
yeah,
connection
no, I'm
again.
here. I'm
Oh,
oh,
here.
okay. Okay. Yeah. So is there anything on the list that you don't agree with or you that we should add on to it? Or what do you think? As a man?
I mean, not. I wasn't really interested in the list, so to speak, but I would say that when I hear women talk, well, I mean, this involves marriage, and this certainly involves finding a good man.
Now
But
do you do you
when I
do
hear
you
women,
are you interested in getting married one day?
yes.
yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
Okay. Like, okay, let me box it in a little bit more because that's like a question you can ask a 5-year-old. And they're like, yeah, do you want to get married soon? I mean, like if you were to find the right person, are you open to marriage? Like within the year or
Within
two?
the next 2 years.
Yeah. If you find the right person
Yeah,
for you. Okay.
absolutely.
Okay, go ahead.
When I hear women talk about men and like traditional roles that men fill, it sort of disappoints me because I think that a lot of times we miss the most important thing, the most important role that we fill as far as security goes. Like you were talking about, Kay. Your husband makes you feel secure in
Mhm.
outside situations like in the world. I find that that's rarely needed from a man. I mean, you might have confidence in him, but the act of making you feel secure, like protection or fixing this or whatever, is very rare. But but a man and a woman fill another security role, and they make you feel secure in yourself. We mirror affection and approval and acknowledgement, every day, and that's what sustains us. And I think a lot of times people miss that. We get caught up in, does she cook? Does she clean? Does he fix this? Does he fix that? Can he fight? Can he? Those things are somewhat aside from the issue. Does that person communicate or reflect to you that you're valued, or that you do fill a role, or that you do it well, or that you're appreciated, or all the things that give you good feelings, and like I say, sustain each other in a relationship.
I can feel you on that.
I mean, but like, all of the things that Kay listed off, that's a part of her love language. And, and like I said, it's, to you that might need, not be a big deal to you, Blake. It's things that, yeah, when I got my oil change, yes, I took it someplace to get it changed. A month or two later than I should have, but I did. It's stuff, yeah, I can take care of everything, but it's just also, it's not about the act itself, it's about the peace of mind. It's that covering. It's better to have two people than one. It's very stressful. That's why people die from loneliness. That's like another silent killer because just having that person there and that peace of mind is just everything. It really is.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And I took it for granted. I took it for granted, but now I really can see, especially getting older. I don't feel like doing all this shit. I'm playing get my car fixed.
Right. It's like I'm gonna give you another example. Just was it this morning? He and I were having a conversation
Mhm.
about me taking the truck, and he was like, He was like, no, because I need to put some brake pads on it this weekend. I wouldn't have known that. You know what I'm saying? Just he was like, no, you can have it in a couple of days because I won't get it till like Sunday. So Sunday I'll get the truck, but he wanted to have a chance to put the brake pads on it before I got it.
Honey, I
I've
would
been
not know.
driving the hell out of that thing.
I would not know what to do, honey. Oh man, I'm like, oh. You see, Mom Vega said my husband made me feel that way. Oh, and then she said it's nice to have a man to lean on. Yes, it's so nice to have that man to have like when you have a good man, not someone who's bringing the lack of peace or bringing chaos and bull crap
Right.
into your life. When you have like, and nobody is perfect, and no man is perfect, no woman is
Absolutely not.
perfect. But when you have that person who like consistently, in general, in collective, brings peace to your life, man, that is like amazing. You don't agree,
And when
Blake?
they want to, that's what they want to bring to your
Right,
life. It's
right,
not going to always be that way. They're going to be bad days, but when that person wants to be your peace,
right.
that's their goal in life, is to be your peace. That makes a big difference.
Yeah.
You know
So
what I found
that's
in
what
my
I want to
dating
be for my husband. Go ahead.
what I found in my dating life is what we used to consider like traditional roles for men and women have kind of faded away. And I think in large part because of the increase in broken homes. Usually the
Hmm.
kids, ended up staying primarily with single mothers, and fathers and good male role models kind of exited, the scene for the most part in children's lives. And I've noticed a lot of guys don't have the ability or the knowledge, the confidence or the courage to do the things that were traditionally thought of as manly. And young girls or even older girls don't have the same confidence or knowledge or abilities to do things that were traditionally known for women, like cooking and cleaning and even taking care of children. um, it's been rare in my life where I've run across a woman that knows how to cook, and certainly doesn't know how to cook to the level or even better than myself. And
Right.
that's one thing that I excel at. But it turns women off. Then they don't want to do it because they think that they're failing, or and men don't want to do it because the woman says, "Oh, well, I can take it down to so and so garage, or my uncle will do it," and it kind of pushes people away from one another.
Right.
You're definitely right as far as those traditional roles and stuff like that. Like my father-in-law is an amazing man as well. He raised an amazing man, and he was that get her done kind of thing. Let's get it done. Let's do this. I'm gonna fix this. I'm gonna fix that. Um, and so my husband learned from him, and even now is teaching his dad how to do stuff. So when my father-in-law needs something, my husband will get on the road, and well, we will get on the road and travel 500 miles and go take care of it for him. Granted, he has a son that lives 2 miles away, but that's
Wow.
beside the point. But when each one teach one, or one generation should teach the next generation. And my husband was raised in a traditional household. I was raised in a two-parent household, but I wouldn't have called it traditional. My mother was more of the breadwinner for the household than my father was. So, I learned what I didn't want, and he learned how the male female role was supposed to be. So we kind
Well,
of
like
came into it with our own. Go ahead.
yeah, to the degree that there are still places for men to fill, still roles for them to fill. Like myself, I didn't grow up with any positive or consistent male role models. Nothing was really taught to me, as far as traditional male tasks or knowledge go. What I know now, I basically had to teach myself. But there was a large portion of my life where it wasn't that I didn't want to do it. It wasn't that I couldn't do it. I didn't know how, and I certainly never had the encouragement.
Right.
Just the confidence to even sit down and try. There's a lot of guys that get very frustrated and anxious and nervous. When something breaks on their vehicle, and they think to themselves, God, I wish I just knew how to fix this. Not not to please women, but just mastery of their own lives. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
Right.
absolutely. I know quite a few men that don't really know much about cars, and they feel somewhat inadequate because of it. Like, you know, well, if no one taught you, how were you going to know? But I
Right.
know quite a few that feel a certain type of way about the fact that they got to take their car to get a basic oil change.
Well, that's sort of an aspect of and a lack of exercise and empathy that I think our culture doesn't do for men nowadays. I mean, we're basically, you know, 2 generations now of men raised by women, primarily without fathers in the household, and to a lesser degree every year. You know, again, courts have a whole lot to do with that, but you
Why?
know,
Hold on, back up. Why do you say that? Why do courts have something to do with that? What do you mean?
I think you can answer that question, Tish.
No, I mean I'm asking you.
Do you really not know what I'm talking about? Do you really not know what I'm talking about?
No, I don't. Do you know what you're talking about? You're not saying it. What is it? Yeah, let's go down this road.
I think
Come on,
it's something like, I think it's
come on, Horsey.
even nowadays in the evolution of, you know, a liberal society, women still have like 91% primary custody of their children.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what that have to do with
So,
the
I
man
mean,
not being around?
well, I mean, if fathers only get their kids every other weekend, you know, 91% of the time, if that, when, you know, the woman decides to go along with the court order, I mean, you know, the whole system makes it contentious. It makes it a fight over, you know, a money bearing asset. We look at children not as liabilities and things to invest in, but things that produce money.
Okay. And you think who fault is that? You think it's women or the matriarchy, or what you're trying to say?
Like I said, it's the court. It's our relationship with government. That's why I think that an enforceable marriage contract to address such things, like, you know, like child custody, should children come about in a marriage, you know, default 50-50. I think that's a great place for us to start. That should be part of a marriage contract.
I'm sorry, what's default 50-50?
Default shared custody. You know, if the marriage dissolves and you have children and you go your separate ways, there should be shared custody. Default 50-50. And, you know, if that can't be taken care of and that can't be fulfilled, then you can address that in court later on. If, you know, the woman wants custody and the man doesn't, or, you know, so and so is going to move 200 miles away or whatever, you know, but the default should be shared custody and no child support. Kids aren't to be fought over, and if your marriage ends and you want to go your separate ways, you shouldn't be fighting and treating your children like assets.
Happy for the billions.
Yes. I was about to dig in that ass about that, but anyway, happy for the billions. How you doing, sweetie? Not you. I was talking about Blake and his. I totally believe in child support, but go ahead. Before the billions.
Yeah, I was about to say my ass is closed.
He said, "Let me make that clear."
Because what you're not about to do.
he said,
What's your particular problem with anything that I just said?
Seems like you blaming it on women per se. You're trying to hide behind the verbiage of courts, but you're trying to low-key.
Well, I explicitly said our relationship with the government. The only reason that child support and these kinds of things happen, and it's so contentious, and it costs everybody so much money and emotion and time and loss, is because of the government. That's how it's enforced, right?
Right. I mean, but the government is ran by who? So it sounds
like government.
Y'all the government is run by men.
So it sounds like y'all men need to huddle up and get y'all shit together if you don't like it.
Well, it doesn't matter who it's ran by.
I know,
it's always been run by men now.
Right. Yeah. So I mean, but a lot of times
there's very few women there. I mean, they're getting.
Are you saying
more
that
now
men are making decisions to make men's lives worse?
Hold on. Well, yeah, because the men made those laws. They made those decisions historically.
Well, there happens to be. Let's be real specific.
White men have made these rules. They put those things in place. Women are just now getting into politics heavily. White men put these rules in place.
Hold on. Are we getting away from the idea of, like the relationship between government? Now this has become a gender and a race-based conversation.
I mean, when you say that the government is involved, then understand who's the government.
Okay,
that's a very simple thing.
Let me lay this out for you for just a second, okay?
Hold on 1 second. Hey, Sauce Ruga Babana. Hey, welcome. What? Thank you. I'm not saying it right. Sauce Ruga Rob shit. Hey, Sauce. Sorry.
No, man.
I can't. I'm a speech parent. Okay, go ahead, Blake. Why do men turn on each other and have child support that y'all created? Go ahead.
Are people in government generally wealthy, well-connected, powerful kinds of people?
Yes.
Okay. And they generally seek re-election, right?
Mm-hmm.
And because they seek re-election, they have to please their constituency.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But they usually don't really.
Okay. So men, I don't really know why this is. I guess men always seek women's approval, but when men talk about these kinds of things, and someone says the kinds of things that I've been saying, generally it's other men that jump on them and say, "Oh, well, you're just a deadbeat dad, or you're just a pussy. You don't want to do this, you don't want to do that. You're terrible." And that's quite obviously not what I'm saying at all. But for some reason, men are so sick that we think that we have to please women and get their approval in every single court, in every single place of speaking, every public engagement, whatever it may be. And nowadays, and even in particular back then, women did vote more frequently and more consistently than men did. So adding all those things up, powerful people don't suffer the same circumstances that the common man does. A rich and powerful and wealthy, well-connected politician wouldn't come to the same conclusions on the other side of a divorce or a child custody case than I would. Right? So the things that they're enforcing through government and through legislation, they don't have to deal with.
Oh, but rich people do get kicked in the ass with child support. I'll just say it.
Hold on. Story to tell, shut up. I'm going to get my piano back. Go ahead. He said I kicked Tish out, took her piano privileges.
Dang, the shade. Okay, so, but again, okay, so women weren't always allowed to vote. So again, who made these rules? I'm just saying, we have to be realistic about it. If we're going to blame the government, who's the government? Historically, who's the government? How long have these laws been in place? What, baby?
Let me ask you this, Kay and Tish.
Yes.
Did you approve of the war in Iraq and Afghanistan?
Nope.
You're cutting out.
I said no.
You said no?
No.
Well, then why were we there?
Because y'all men wanted to be there.
The government decided to go.
Women make up the majority of the population.
But we didn't get a vote on Iraq. Women did not get a vote on that. Are you saying that women sent these troops to Iraq? Because as far as I know, we haven't had a female president yet.
Women vote more than men do nowadays, and they certainly make up more of the population.
Okay, but again, we are still not in power. Who was the president when we went to Iraq?
You're not? But you vote.
What female was president when we went to Iraq?
It doesn't matter. We didn't declare war.
Blake is breaking down. Hey, before the billion. So, do you agree with the list?
what I'm saying to you is that it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what the voting population thinks or what's good for our country or what's good for our citizens.
Let me counteract your argument.
People in government will do whatever it is that they need to do or say whatever they need to say to get into power.
Let's use Trump as an example. Okay, so Trump said he was going to get rid of Obamacare. His first day in office, he was going to sign legislation to get rid of Obamacare, and he was going to replace it with better health care. A lot of people voted for him for that sole purpose. Did they get it?
Mm-hmm. No.
Did he build the wall? Did Mexico pay for the wall he said that Mexico was going to pay for?
Maybe in a roundabout way, some.
No, Mexico did not pay a dime on that wall. Mexico said we ain't giving y'all shit on that wall.
But the president, but the president,
yeah,
but that's a perfect point, Kay, because
the
president was
anti-lynching bill passed yet, because that was part of what what's his name, Biden said. Biden said he was gonna get that anti-lynching bill passed, the George Floyd bill passed, police enactment passed. None of that's been passed, right? Right, but
I don't know.
But he was voted in on those particular things, right? That's what some people voted for him for. Those things didn't happen. It's politics. Politicians do what the hell they want to do once they're in office.
Your point is perfect, though, because the president is looked at as the most powerful person within our government, but alone they can't do anything. And I would say that government seeks to get bigger and get more and more control and more power and take in more and more money, which the child support system does, which courts do, which every single organization and bureaucracy that are surrounded by those things do. It gives the government more power, more money, and more intrusion into our lives. It's not a good thing, but they do it every year without our say-so, certainly without our vote, and definitely without our approval.
I like how a story to tell says women don't have power unless they sew on a penis, change genders. I love Tish. Oh, thank you, Saucy. Thank you. Exactly.
Hey, before the billions, how you doing today, baby?
I know. You came into this pitstorm of, women really didn't use child support. It's men who did it, and they did it to themselves, and they're bitching about it. Anyway, before the billions. Sorry, Blakey. Anyway, so anything on that list you don't agree with, or you do agree with, or something that should be added on or taken off?
Yeah, I already put the not cheating to be added on as an honorable mention. I think I think that is one of those things.
Right.
Overall, I think can I see the list one more time, because I think it was one thing that.
Let me see it. I have it where it doesn't stay up. So we have standards, have boundaries, discernment, expectations, know your thyself, consistency, know your deal breakers, be intentional. Oh, let me take this comment off. Hold on. Be intentional. How do you do this? Be intentional, know representatives, and have fun, and be a joyful person.
Now, what did you say the no representatives meant?
Like when women, we talk about we're gonna like suck you off and stuff every day, and then we don't, or just being I'm sorry, he got all tight like I'm sorry, before the billions. Like, I'm not gonna swallow that. Or just are you gonna? I'm gonna cook every day, and knowing I'm gonna feed you Uber Eats every day, or I like just certain things.
Or even if she sits there and she's your biggest champion, and she supports you all the time in every endeavor, and then you get married and she's like, man, fuck you, you were courting the representative, not the real person,
right?
So pretty much lying.
Yeah, pretending to be something you're not. Men tend not to pretend to be the representative for very long, because most men eventually fall into who they really are, and then that's what you get. And then, but women can keep that charade up for quite some time.
Yes, we can.
Which is also why I say people should live together. It varies on the woman, but that's why I say people should live together, because that's when you really get that insight into who you're really dealing with. Because you can't keep that facade up 24/7. You can keep it up for a couple hours a day, but every day, all day, nah.
Let me tell you this quick story about a representative. This one chick, she had I wear wigs and stuff. She wear wigs, but for some reason her husband didn't know it. Long story short, he comes home from work unexpectedly. She had her wig off and she's looking like a total hot mess under it. Hair all, just crazy. And so he was shocked, and she starts crying and like, you found out I have cancer and my hair is falling out. And she went through this whole charade because for their whole marriage, he thought that her wigs or whatever was her hair.
Does
And
she actually have cancer?
no.
Did she look
lied.
like Jada Pinkett underneath there?
Oh, damn. No, because Jada is gorgeous.
She was. Oh wow.
So that's an
Did-
example.
She wasn't even gorgeous.
So that's an example of an extreme representative. Just simple
Yeah.
stuff like that. That's just like me. If I take this wig off, I'm just looking like crazy. Just stuff. Or personality wise or
Yeah.
whatnot.
There
That's
was that
funny how-
lady that
Okay.
her husband divorced her when he finally saw her without makeup because she looked like a completely different person. And he said now he understood why his kids were ugly.
Mm. But you know what is that? In that story, it's funny how she had that representative, and then she represented again.
she did a
She
double
like-
representative.
Right.
But women, to be honest with you, men, from my experience, men, y'all can't really keep a representative up or keep up the best part of y'all that's not really y'all for no more than 6 months. After 6 months, that shit, y'all just start busting on down, honey. Okay. But a woman, to be honest with you, we can keep a representative going even after marriage. And then all of a sudden it's just a whole breakdown. You know what I'm saying? So I feel bad for y'all men. But I will be actually honest. We can keep a representative up. So that's why you have to beef up your level of discernment or your intuition and really just dig in to know who you're dealing with and cut out the surface crap,
Also, can I also bring this in as well? When you're talking about a representative, how do you represent yourself and also, the relationship as well? I mean, imagine, right? You go out and, they always used to tell us when we were in like elementary school and, grade school and all this other kind of stuff, you're representing the school, right?
Okay.
But then let's say if you're in a relationship and then you with somebody and then they go out and they wearing, some scantily clad clothes. And then you like, oh, well, you supposed to be representing that you, in a relationship or married or, all these other kinds of things. But then you don't have your wedding ring on or something like that. You know what I mean? Like that's like, I guess, bad representation, right, of a relationship or marriage. So it could also go that way too.
Right. Yeah. But hopefully with this platform, we want to bust down those possibilities. How many women are really being real and being honest to say that we can hold up a representative even after marriage? So for Blake and for you before the billions, or William, I'm sorry, that's something that y'all can be mindful of and learn how to dig deeper into and really get to know the woman you're with or you're dealing with, so you can have a successful marriage or, or not make that mistake. What's that?
I'm trying to see if I can get it in front of the camera.
Oh,
That's the
God.
lady.
Oh,
That's
God.
one of them.
Oh, God.
yeah.
That's a monster. That's not a representative.
That's not the same one. Don't say that she's a monster. She's actually not she's got bad skin.
You say, well, we say Common Sense TV say everyone knows not all races of men are in alignment with each other, not at the same level as some of these extreme feminists. I love what Kay said, Vega. Sadly, men are leaving one family to start another one. That's true. Be yourself. That is very true. Common Sense TV, extreme feminist. Yeah, that was crazy. Actually, scratch all of that. I misspoke. Tish is the best. Sauce?
Oh, wow.
Sauce, who are you, Sauce? Oh, gosh. Oh, wow.
Josh putting on a whole bunch of sauce.
No,
Oh,
so how do y'all feel? Like, how do y'all feel about women who can be like, how do y'all handle to make sure a woman is who she is when she takes that makeup off, and if she wears a wig, if that wig comes off, or how do y'all handle that? Because I know, like, a dude I was I'm dealing with from time to time or whatever, I make sure clean the face, take off the wig, they see who it is, because I don't want to scare nobody. I want to know what it really is, you know what I'm saying?
You know what?
I want no bullshit. I want you catching me, when I'm taking a nap and my wig come off.
You know what, Tish? I was actually can I tell y'all a story right quick?
Yes,
It's very
please.
short.
Yeah, go
And
ahead.
I don't want y'all to be like, oh, why you say that? But
Okay.
so I found out pretty soon when I started dating my girlfriend a few years ago. And it was like she actually needed me to drive her somewhere pretty early on, and it was like an emergency.
Okay.
So then I was like, okay, I picked her up and stuff, and then she didn't have a wig on, she didn't have a makeup on, her
Okay.
breath was stank. It was a whole bunch of stuff that was going on. I was like, but it was an emergency, so I was like, okay, cool. And none of those things maybe be like, oh, I ain't gonna be with her no more. But she didn't look too far off from what she looked like without her wig and makeup. So I was like, okay, this is pretty much what I should expect,
Right.
But that was like probably like a few weeks into it. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, that could have gone so wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that could have gone so wrong. But that's good. I mean, that's good. It wasn't too far off the mark or anything like that. Because as Kay's shown, it could be a beast. It can be totally
That
something
makeup
different.
today is just straight magic.
Oh yeah.
For
You
me,
get a whole new
like
person.
when I've met women, it didn't matter what they looked like without their makeup on or whatever. Like, but if they wear a lot of makeup or they got a lot of accessories or they wear a lot of jewelry or they're really into their clothes, high dollar, got to have this brand, got to have that brand. It doesn't matter what they look like without all that kind of stuff on. That's a complete turnoff. It indicates a whole bunch of personality flaws, and it indicates to me that they're not interested in you. They're more interested in themselves.
Okay.
So that was always a turnoff for me, and I didn't care what they looked like without all that kind of stuff on. It just wasn't going to work.
I mean, and men tend to say that, but I mean, this, like, I love how Kay, she's always camera ready. You know what I'm saying? I think, when you're ready to get married, or even after you get married, I think it's almost like customer service. Like, of course, be real and be authentic, but it's almost like customer service. You always want to put your best forward. You always want to make sure that person is taken care of. You always want to make sure that the company or the marriage is running smoothly, or the relationship. And always just put your best foot forward. I mean, women, we should not be looking haggard for our men. We just should not.
Here's
What
my
I'm saying?
theory.
Damn. Because if a man's walking around with looking like he's pregnant, if he's walking
Men
around
don't
with,
give a fuck. I'm sorry, men just don't care. Men
yeah,
don't give a fuck. They're not
you
gonna do it. They're not gonna do it.
I mean, well, women, we are a little more forgiving,
Right.
but but let's say stuff like they're not keeping their face shaven, and stuff like that. We don't want to see that shit.
My husband
You know,
did the whole COVID fro and beard. I was like, bruh, if you don't take your ass to the barber and get that
he's
shit
like,
fixed,
bruh.
bruh. But yeah, I do believe, like you were saying, don't just walk around the house looking haggard. I mean, come on. I take issue with, I believe you need to be your authentic self. I do believe that. But it's nothing to just try to look decent walking around the house. I mean, women will come in the door after they've been out in the street and pop off that wig and just walk around the house with a bonnet on, and I understand you're tired of wearing the wig, but if that's how you've chosen to wear your hair all day, and you've got a man at home, I'm gonna need you to keep it up. I'm sorry. You
And even
walk in there, it's like you give everybody outside of your house that doesn't pay any of your bills your best, and then you come home looking
right,
like shit. Okay, you snap off the bra, you take your hair off, you take your makeup off, and then you just look like shit walking around the house in front of the man that pays your bills. I'm sorry. I got a
right,
real problem with that. I think you should make an effort so that, damn, why he got to get the worst? Why can't he not get what the people in the street got?
right. And even if it's like not a bonnet, have like a little
Right.
cute scarf or something. Have the
Something
bonnet
cute.
or
Style
something.
it up.
All you can do.
They got so many varieties of things you can wear where you don't
Yeah.
look like you just woke up.
But wear something like some little shorts or some little tight pants or something. You got to offset
Right.
that
He'll
shit.
forgive anything if you walk around in some booty shorts. He don't care what your hair look like if you got some booty shorts on.
You
Can,
know.
can I ask, can I ask you girls a question real quick?
You mean
This might
You can ask us
A
ladies a
girl.
questions.
us,
this might
Yes, you can ask us
A
ladies a
girl.
questions.
us queens? Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. Royalty, please answer my question. No, this might seem a little bit sensitive, and I don't mean it in any kind of bad way,
Go
but
for it.
Oh,
what
we keep it real, Blake. Come on, baby. We keep it real. Ask your question.
She'll just cuss
what
you
are the
out. It's okay.
reasons? What are the reasons really that black women don't seem to wear their hair naturally?
Because it's a pain in the ass.
Did you? I'm sorry. You asked. What was the question? I missed the question.
What are the reasons that not very
Oh.
many black women wear their hair naturally?
Well, one, let's start with the fact that it wasn't socially acceptable. Back in the, oh gosh, like
We're
before
talking now, though.
1960. Well, hold on, but there's a history that goes with this, so you can't ignore the history side of it, the historical side of it, where it was illegal for us to show our hair in public. Then, then products came out where you could straighten our hair, and then it was more acceptable if our hair was straightened. And then there were jobs that wouldn't take us up until recently, within the last few years, that wouldn't even consider us for opportunity if we walked in there with our natural hair. If our hair wasn't straight, they really didn't want to talk to us. So shoot, they do that about our names. They don't like our names on applications, and a lot of HR departments have admitted that they throw out our applications because they don't know how to pronounce our names. So instead of ask, let's just throw the application away. Our hair has culturally not been accepted in white spaces. So black women have acclimated to straightening their hair so they appeared less threatening and more acceptable in places of business. It's only in the most recent years that black women have finally said, fuck it, I'm tired of fucking my hair up with all these chemicals and all this heat and trying to straighten my hair to look a certain way. And I love the skin I'm in. I love the hair I have, and I'm going to wear the hair I have. Now, I personally like wearing a whole lot of hair. So sometimes you'll see my natural hair and sometimes you won't. But it's
And,
a choice. It's what
and,
I
and,
choose to do. It's not because I feel I have to do anything differently because I need to be accepted anywhere. But if I work for myself. So
but
I can do that.
and then as you know, as African American women, we're very festive. We're very colorful. We love variety. We love different looks, and so we just love different types of looks. I mean, but a lot of times it is as a protective style, as Kay is saying. You know, if we wear our natural hair and stuff of that nature, you know, in most recent times, it will be a threat. It will be an issue, and we cannot put all like heat on our hair. We can't straighten our hair every day. It will break off. It's just the nature of our hair. But I mean, I enjoy rocking different ways, and men love it. You don't know what you gonna get. You know, like Megan said, you know, make you think you cheated. You know what I'm saying? So I just love it. I mean, I have a decent crop of hair under here, but I just like to wear wigs because it's fun. I do it for me
Right.
personally. And all the men I deal with, they claim they hate wigs, but I'm like, I don't care. I like it. Shit, get over it.
And then the other thing that Tish mentioned when you first asked the question was our hair maintenance is a lot of work. We can't just wash and go or wash and blow dry and go. It's a lot of work. You have to plan in advance because you may or may not get the look you were going for. So our hair products are extremely expensive as well. And every product doesn't work for everybody. That's with everything, I guess. But we spend a lot of money trying to find the right product for our particular strand of hair. So it can get really costly.
And LT said, "What about the Afro era?" But back in the Afro era, women really weren't that big into the, African Americans. We really weren't big into the corporate scene. That's something that's
Right.
much more advanced into, closer to this time frame. So the
The
Afro
80s and the
era,
90s.
right. So the Afro era, that's working manual labor or whatever, and that was a style. And that's when we were like realizing, hold up, we aren't, we're past the slavery point. We're gonna be black and we're gonna be proud and we're gonna show our Afro. But like everything changes, and it is, and you get tired of white women, or just even white men, like, what's going on with your hair, da, da, da. And they judge us by that instead of our work. And
And let's not forget the fact that people like to try to touch our hair.
yeah,
When
yeah,
I
I
tell
don't know.
you that is a major microaggression for me. Like I'm ready to fight when someone reaches for my hair. So like recently I was wearing big hair, okay? And I took my mom to the doctor, and the nurse practitioner comes in and she goes, "Oh my God, look at your hair." And she reached for my hair. And my facial expression immediately said, "Bitch, if you touch my hair, we're fighting." So I didn't say that, but my face said it. And I did like this. Like, and she reached, and she grabbed her hand back. She said, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry. Oh my God, that was so inappropriate. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to offend you." And she goes into this apology, and I'm still trying to calm myself down because that's always been an issue for me. And and then she went on and she did my mom's appointment and everything, and then she apologized again. And I was like, and I couldn't even say it's okay because it really wasn't okay with me. I was still mad that she thought she was about to touch my hair. That I'm not a pet. I'm not an experiment. I'm not exotic. Keep your hands out of my fucking hair. Oh my God, I was so.
I mean, now I'm on the opposite end of that. I'm real because I hate to say I go to white women, and if they have little like their hair is in a ball and it's all wet, I'll go and squishy,
Stop playing.
I do that.
Girl, when I tell you I would have punched the shit out of you.
So
That
I mean,
was
and I understand as another group of people, to me, our hair is gorgeous. It is different. But I do that too, and I
and the
know
texture is so
no.
different from one woman to the next.
And so I'm guilty of that too. I will touch
Mm.
a white woman's hair and squeeze it and play with it, and
What the fuck?
yeah.
Girl, okay.
And
So
Well, I want
I
go
go
ahead,
ahead, Blake.
in in closing, I just wanted to say, from my perspective, obviously I don't speak for all men, and I'm certainly not speaking for white men, but I've always kind of enjoyed and been attracted to short hairstyles in women. I don't really know why, but whether it be an afro or a butch cut or
And
you
honey,
know
trust me, even short hair, that's even the worst, honey. Short hair is even
no
hard. That
no
thing that will twist up all kind of which way. I know what you're
I'm
saying.
not I'm not talking about exclusively in black women. I mean just women in general. Like a lot of the celebrities that you see, they're always trying out different hairstyles. Like even models and stuff like that. Like they don't look bad. Like hair is not a significant aspect to attraction for me.
I mean, but Blake, when you
As
love,
far as the female goes.
even with white women or whatever, don't you? Wouldn't you love a woman just to bust out on a random Thursday with a hooker wig? Wouldn't that be hot? That'd be hot.
Bust out on a random what?
Thursday
With
night with
or
a
just
hooker
a
wig.
random day of the week, she's got on a wig and y'all go out or something, and she just looks
Well,
different.
maybe, but that would
Yeah,
make that
see.
that butch cut,
But hold
so
on,
much
so
so much
Blake,
easier to
you don't
do. Like,
pull hair?
no, not really.
When you hitting it from the back, you don't have a grip on her hair.
Oh gosh.
No, I mean you can always go to the throat. You can go under the chin. You can go on top of the forehead and
No,
kind of like pull
hey,
it
no.
back. And
You supposed to
you could
grab that
you could
hair
wrap
and
around
ride her
underneath
like
and
a
grab the shoulder.
motherfucking
You can
horse. You
you can
supposed
do
to
all
hold
sorts
that
of
hair
stuff.
like some reins.
No,
And
I like to ride
Okay.
that horse close.
And while y'all hating on my Meg the Stallion lie, you can learn. Listen, prostitutes and stuff is in the Bible. You can learn a lot from whores. Whores keep your marriage happy. Whores,
Yes.
if good women like Kay and me do whorish things, what the best? That's the best woman in the world. You got a whore that cooks and cleans and all that shit. Y'all will be so happy. So yes, Megan Stallion can be incorporated into good women habits. Anyway, but I'm sorry, I didn't mean to call you a whore, Kay.
Okay. But yeah, whatever. I'm good. What's it called? As long as you don't be reaching for my hair, we good. But I do have another hair story real quick. I was in the line at the grocery store, and this was when I had my first set of locks. So they were really long. And so I didn't realize this woman was playing in my hair until I stepped forward and felt the tension. And I didn't know who it was. I turned around and cussed her out so fast. I could not believe she was just sitting there playing in my hair. And when she realized that, I felt it, she goes, "Oh, I'm sorry." And I'd already turned around. I was like, "Bitch, I know you did not just have your hand in my motherfucking hair." Like I was a freaking experiment. I was so angry. Yes, I'm real sensitive about the hair thing. And it doesn't matter who's doing it. I don't like it. I've had grown behind black men. want to play in my damn locks. Don't touch my fucking hair. To me, first of all, especially when a man does it, it's very sexual, and I find it extremely inappropriate. But I don't know where your nasty hands have been either, and you're not going to play in my hair. It's just so many issues with me. The hair thing.
I like when Vega said a very good looking man doesn't matter if he's rotten on the inside. Very true. Very
Oh,
disingenuous.
true.
I mean, and that goes with women too. It's nothing worse than a beautiful woman and she ain't shit on the inside. She's not loving. She's not nurturing. She ain't cooking. She ain't cleaning. She ain't, and even, yeah, this is terrible. LT said, and welcome, LT. Thank you for coming. This is your first time. A whore that'll cheat on you, the Will Smith story. But you know what? We're going to wrap this up, but everyone is really blaming Jada for everything. Y'all have to keep in mind. Okay, Jada stuff got messy because she obviously has the
let's talk about it.
Obviously, Jada has the better sex between the two. So, when you give a man some really wild, crazy sex, it's not going to stay contained. He's
really, we're going to blame it on sex.
I mean, but y'all acting like Will Smith didn't have his own thing going at some point in time. You know what I'm saying? And it's not Jada.
I'm sorry, was he made to talk about his sexual exploits on the Red Table Talk?
No, but he let her do it. I mean,
August was already putting the business out there at that point.
May as well.
But I mean, do you think the slap was okay?
I mean,
he's a moron.
I mean, it was yeah, it was over the top, and it wasn't definitely just for her. It was definitely for him. To make him, I think he already had a lot of stuff built up and going on, and it was just, he had a mental breakdown. Basically, he just had a break. He was tired of people making him the butt of the joke, and he just, he just had a moment. I just think he had a moment.
When Rebel Wilson made her comments about Jada and her multiple boyfriends or whatever, Jada made an even worse expression. He didn't say anything to Rebel. But I hate that they keep playing the alopecia as if she's so sick. Oh, she's right. Got a disability and all this other kind of stuff like that. Okay, yes, it is an autoimmune disease. Yes, it is. She's losing her hair. But to assume that Chris knew that is a stretch. I didn't know that, and I've watched Red Table Talk, and I've heard her talk about her hair loss before, but I didn't know she had alopecia.
What do y'all guys think about it?
Y'all think she's losing her hair? That doesn't make her special,
right? And the other part of that is she's prone to wearing her hair really short. So hell, even Willow shaved all her own hair off. So why would he assume she had alopecia? And again,
it don't matter.
G.I. Jane was a bad motherfucker. That's not a bad comparison.
Yeah, I mean, he totally was out of line. I call it Will Smith. He was totally out of line. I really think he had a mental breakdown, and that's how it manifested itself.
I think the Oscars made their ass whoop for allowing him to get up on that motherfucking stage and grandiose the way he did and try to blame his shit on art and life, replicating. I'm like, come on, dude. And then he didn't apologize to Chris until the next day. No, that was some old bullshit. He should not have been allowed to stay. They could have gave him his Oscar, but he should not have been allowed to stay. He should not have been allowed to get on that stage and say shit. The whole thing was handled wrong. He should be in jail.
If that wasn't staged and faked, I think Will Smith actually meant that slap that he gave to Chris Rock for his wife. I think he wished he could probably just slap the shit out of Jada Pinkett.
No, he worshipped the ground Jada walk on. He didn't want to slap her.
Yeah, he too. He's too
busy still trying to get her approval.
But you just got done saying that she makes him look terrible.
It doesn't matter. He's in the sunken place.
We see it. He don't. But for the Billions, what do you think about the situation? I know you're tired of talking about, but what's your take on it? We can't hear you.
I think that Will Smith was definitely wrong. Really, it was even worse is that you go up there and you smack somebody, humiliate them, somebody you know for over 30 years, a friend of yours, work with him, work with his brothers, work with, he's worked with your wife before. he put on a dress and makeup and everything else as a favor to you for your TV show, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, and you go up and humiliate him and smack him in front of the whole world.
Yeah, true.
For no benefit. And what made it so bad is that Jada threw him under the bus right afterwards.
Yes, she did. Now that was terrible. That trick said, "Oh, I didn't want him to do that until." Oh, I was like, "Shut the hell up!" That did show what kind of woman she was. I mean, I was on Jada's side, as in, I don't think everyone should have been like on her case about it because it wasn't really her per se. But when she said that, she put herself right back in the driver's seat of being a bitch. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you could say he was protecting the wife, he was protecting himself, he had a mental breakdown, as I like to call it, or whatnot. But when she did that you're right, William, that was terrible. That was totally selfish of her. That was as if she was not a part of the equation. But a lot of times, things can happen behind the scenes. And when a woman gets fed, I know y'all not gonna like this, but when a woman gets fed up and there's things you don't know that she probably not mentioning, a woman just don't give a damn. And maybe he's trying to make it up to her.
Hold on. Are we talking about Will cheating, or are we talking about all that bullshit with Tupac? Where 13 years into her marriage, she's still talking about how much she loved Tupac. She crying over a motherfucker. I know he's dead, but damn, you are disrespecting the shit out of your husband on national television, talking about how much you loved another damn man.
Yeah, I like what Vega said. What we saw was a lifetime of anger and sadness taken out on Chris.
I agree with that.
And that was perfectly said. Yep. Mm-hmm.
I absolutely agree with that.
I just basically said the same thing, and you told me that I was wrong, and you disagreed with me.
Oh, me?
You said he wanted to slap Jada. That's not the same thing. Yeah, he's frustrated with all the stuff that happens in relation to Jada, but he has not yet turned that towards her. He hasn't acknowledged the fact that she's part of his problem.
Right. So, Vega just said
it was not directed at her. It was directed at everybody else. Yeah.
Right. A lifetime of anger and sadness, but it doesn't have anything to do with Jada Pinkett. I don't get it.
No, not that it doesn't have anything to do with her. Has he acknowledged that she's the problem? If he hasn't acknowledged that she's the problem, then why would he want to smack her?
Well, it don't matter because I think it was staged and faked anyways.
Oh, I don't think it was staged. It didn't benefit him at all. Why would he do that?
Sure, that's all they've been talking about.
So
he's lost money already.
They're going to write books, and his next movie is going to gross like, $500 million or something like that.
Okay, so it isn't staged simply because they actually had people who had backgrounds in body language. And they broke down just how impossible it would have been to be staged, simply from how Jada was acting when she
from 3 actors.
Yeah, like even the best actors couldn't fake how they were acting. Like, and really? Jada ain't even that good of an actress.
Jada's not that good of an actress.
She ain't that good of an actress. She D-list at best. But the thing is that
are they better actors than us?
Yes.
I mean, yeah, but we could probably act. We probably wouldn't be able to fake the social cues that they actually were to put off. Like, actually, I would say look up the video where they actually break down. You have a body language expert break down how it is pretty much impossible for it to be staged. They even broke down, like, they have a pros and cons, the list of whether or not if it was real or fake, right? Not only is it to no benefit for him to do this, right? But also the fact that Will quite literally was having a breakdown, and he walked up there to slap Chris Rock, turned around, was smiling, walked back, started yelling in front of all of these people, which most people, even if you acting, is going to be kind of some sort of uncomfortable, you're going to be uncomfortable. Right. Like, even the biggest goon wouldn't walk up there and then just slap somebody in front of a whole bunch of folks, right? A whole bunch of rich people, knowing that there's security there, and then go up there again to do an acceptance speech, bawling, crying, and then trying to call other people to help him out and asking for acceptance from Denzel Washington and other celebrities, right? Him asking for acceptance also was another way of showing like, oh, he really was having a breakdown. He was trying to make sure that his actions could be validated, and they weren't. Right? It was just wrong. I mean, like to
Even
assault
King Richard
somebody.
himself said that was some old bullshit. Nobody dragging him into that bullshit with.
I mean, but
He was pissed.
He tried to put it on something else.
So William, you agree is more like a mental breakdown. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah, I mean, come on now. It would have to be because like you can think of the most hood,
Right.
like I don't care. I don't have nothing to lose kind of person in the whole world. And you got somebody like even the person who ain't got nothing to lose wouldn't be doing what Will Smith did. Will Smith got a whole bunch to lose.
What did he lose?
You know? He lost. Well,
he's lost a couple of movie deals.
He
already.
also had to resign from.
Well, he resigned. He chose to resign from the Oscars, but please understand that only means that he can no longer vote.
But
Right.
He can still attend. He can still be nominated, and he can still win unless they decide to ban him from the Oscars. But at this point, his resignation from the Oscars only means he cannot vote.
But the only reason
he lost his ability to vote.
But the only reason he resigned was because they was about to give him the boot anyway. So it's just like you're about to get fired.
He didn't stop anything. He's hoping that by resigning, they will accept that, and then they won't do anything further, like ban him. All he did was give up his right to vote on the movies.
Wow, look at Vegas said. He said his movie has been shelved and he was fired from Netflix. Now that's a lot to lose.
That's right. He's lost money already.
Well, he also lost even more respect from people who were his fans. He lost respect from, I guarantee you, from his wife, even more so. I didn't think that she could lose any more respect from him, but
because she
the fact that she threw him under the bus, that's even more respect.
If you'll allow me just a minute here, I don't know the numbers exactly, but the Hollywood industry is basically on its ear. I mean, it's pretty broke nowadays. They're not putting out very many movies, and the movies that they're putting out are not very good. I think it needs a major. What's that?
I said, shout out to Morbius.
I can't wait. Did you see it already?
I already saw it.
I'm going to see it Saturday. Was it good?
It was okay.
Oh, okay. No, don't tell me that.
I mean, like, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it, but somebody I'm sorry to cut you off, Blake. Blake, go ahead and finish, and I'll go ahead and respond to Kay.
Okay.
But the Hollywood industry, the movie industry, certainly needs a jumpstart. They need some excitement, infused into the whole thing. And I don't think that it's out of the realm of possibility that this was faked, even for that. They're all actors.
This is this is the reason why I don't think it was fake. If you think about it for a second, once that happened, nothing else in the evening mattered. Okay, it overshadowed even his own Oscar win. The thing he wanted more than anything in life was that Oscar, and that slap made his Oscar put so much negativity on his Oscar win. It also, the people that won Oscars after that slap, nobody remembers.
Right.
It took everything away from those people who had worked so hard for that.
It sucked it dry. It sucked it dry.
I bet the weight ratings went through the roof after that happened, and that's all anybody's been talking about.
People
that's all that anybody's been talking about is Hollywood. Absolutely. Oscars. And movies, Will Smith and Jada Pinkett and Chris Rock.
Are catching
There's so much to be gained for everybody and everything after this point.
Blake, even the Academy looks bad because they didn't handle it properly. They didn't handle it in the moment. Someone was assaulted on their stage, and
people don't have standards anymore.
Anything. No security yanked Will's ass up out of there. The police didn't yank his ass up out of there.
They want money. They don't give a shit about standards.
I like what a story to tell said. Blake, no one gets paid for those ratings. The only person truly benefiting was Chris Rock. That's what Story to Tell says.
Right. And he's still catching him too, because he's still embarrassed. This is embarrassing. You let a man come up and slap you and you ain't do nothing.
Okay,
his daughter was in attendance as well.
Some people saying he handled it well.
Yeah,
He
obviously
was
he
a
doesn't care.
professional. He was a consummate professional, and I agree with that. But that man's pride, after being slapped in front of millions of people, cannot be repaired.
So let me ask you this: Can I play devil's advocate and say that maybe this is a mental health issue, and we should give him a little more grace instead
Who
of
will?
yeah.
This is, what? It's actually scientifically proven that when someone is angry, the intelligence levels go down. So you do real stupid shit that you was like, if you had had your right mind, you would not have done it.
Okay.
Mental illness, quite possibly. He definitely had a mental break.
Yeah. And so we
Is
should
he
handle him
batshit
with.
crazy? Absolutely not.
No, I'm talking about a mental breakdown.
Yeah,
I
he had a
mean,
mental breakdown. I absolutely believe
so,
he had a crisis that moment.
so shouldn't we handle him with more grace and understanding? I mean, because
No, because the
really,
damage is still done. Someone can have a mental break and kill somebody. I'm sorry. I'm not, that person's still dead. So
yeah, but he
no.
didn't kill somebody though. He didn't.
But did he run to go get help
still
first?
slapped.
No, he went to Dubai first and had a ball. Now he's trying to get some help at a rehab center.
Right. I mean,
Okay, you would give a woman some grace.
Huh?
You would give a woman some grace.
No, I wouldn't. Not for
shut
that
up, Blake.
bullshit. Stupid is stupid. Stupid is as stupid does. I'm sorry.
Wow.
I wouldn't give her.
slapped.
If
The
a
damage
woman
is
walked
done.
up on that stage and assaulted another woman, nope, I got nothing for you.
Yeah, Story to Tell says Will is still Will. We love him and we will continue to Will continue to be great. We have all dated a deviant that was a black cloud over us.
He also, the what you call it, the Oscars for the first time was being directed by a all black crew, and that
Yeah.
was overshadowed as well.
Yeah.
Now we're looking like the what you call it, the Source Awards. Shit it was a horrible look. And sadly, anytime a black person, especially a prominent black person, does something negative, the whole race is held accountable for it. But then at the same time, whereas Chris Rock sat there, took that and continued on with the job he had been given, we're not giving that grace. We're not saying, oh, well, black people can be held accountable for this. They did this and that was great. Chris did a great job and he made black people look good. No, there's people are stuck on Will made black people look bad. So we can't win for losing. No, absolutely not. I give him no fucking grace. No, because he did too much damn damage. Oh, this heifer ready to go. She playing the wedding music. Oh, Lord have mercy. Somebody get her. I can't with her. Poppy, come get your
They
girl.
intentionally made that an all black crew.
No, they did. It was the first time they'd ever done it. Usually the crew was all white. So this time they gave a black person the opportunity to direct with a whole black crew, and everything was going well until that happened.
You mean to say
And the
that
story to
every
tell
time
brought up
before
a good
this?
point too. Huh? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
You mean to say that every year before this, all the crews were all white?
I mean, you're gonna have people amongst that are not, but I mean, I'm talking about the primary crew.
So this year,
Yes.
this year they intentionally made it an all black crew.
I can't say that it was intentionally done because I don't know that detail for sure, but I can say that it was an all black crew. This is the thing. When you have a director, he has his own crew. So usually that crew, the primary crew, is going to be whoever that person hired. So yeah, usually the primary crew is all white. I'm not talking about the little people that run errands and do little things around the place. I'm talking about the crew that you bring in that's doing the heavy lifting.
I certainly hope that they didn't intentionally do that.
Well, you would hope they wouldn't do that, but usually the crew is all white. So what's wrong with them one time doing an all black crew?
Because if it was done intentionally, it's kind of wrong as far as I see it.
Intentionally all white. So just like that's why, in fact, that's one of the reasons why the Smiths boycotted, which I thought was stupid, because like Chris Rock said, they weren't invited, but they boycotted an Oscars years ago because every single person that had been nominated was white, and that was typical years ago. But then every once in a while, they'll sprinkle a black person in here or a person of color into the nominations. Rarely would anyone win, but that was typical that the Oscars have been primarily all white since the was 90 something years in. So you can say out of those 90 something years, there have been maybe 5 to 10 years where they have sprinkled some black folks in there. So generally everything has been white,
It's okay.
baby.
I'm not gonna talk about it anymore. I'm gonna say goodnight to y'all because if I keep talking, things will get sour. And
How's it gonna get sour? I'm just telling you facts.
because I've got things that I would like to say, but I'm not gonna say them
Say it.
because they're not gonna be received well.
I mean, if you
But
have something
anyway,
you want to say, Blake, speak your mind, sweetie.
no,
So basically, you don't believe that it was not fair to to make a point to having an all black crew. I mean, like all black.
why would you do that intentionally? That's a horrendous idea.
Why? Why do you think that?
To just hire one specific race. It doesn't matter what the race is.
They hired a black director. The black director had a black crew. Do you see the difference? That's not saying we want an all black crew. That's saying we hired a black director. The black director brought in a black crew. When you hire
So
a
why
white
didn't he
director,
have
the
a
white
sprinkling
director
of white
brings in a
people,
white crew. So
or a
what is the
sprinkling of
difference?
Chinese people, or Hispanic here and there, or
Hey,
whatever?
hopefully will get an opportunity, and it will be more people of color directing, and more
So next
people
year
of
it'll be like
color
South
as a
Korean,
crew. But when you say it,
and the year after that it'll be Hispanic.
they specifically hired a black director, so it would be an all black crew. That's not the case. That's just like saying they specifically hire a white director, so it would be an all white crew. That you can't say that. You can't say one without saying the other. So
And when
you
it's
hired a black director. He brought in a black crew.
yeah,
What's
and when
wrong with that? If the white director can do it, why can't the black director do it?
and when we say
Prior to this year, I don't know that it ever was an all white crew.
But it was. I'm telling you that.
and when and when
You
and
can
when
look it up.
You mean to
But
tell
it's
me that
always an
every
all
year
white
before
crew.
now it was
It's
always white?
almost always an all white crew every single
Almost
year for
always.
90 some odd years. So this one year where they hired a black director for the very first time, you have a problem with the fact that it was an all black crew?
and
If it
it's
was
not
done intentionally, yes, of course.
But
and
we
it's
can't say that. I can't say that. I didn't say that. In fact, I specifically said that I can't speak on that because I don't know that they specifically did that for a specific reason. What I can say is they did indeed hire a black director.
right, and that doesn't necessarily mean every single person was black per se,
Right. That
but
just means your primary crew, the people you work with on a regular basis that you brought in with you, were black. I'm sure there were other white people on staff, but they weren't
You said it was
necessarily
all
brought in
black.
by that director. I said that. I said that. And just like with the white crew, when they bring in a white director who brings in an all white crew, I'm sure there are other people on that staff that are not white, but that's not part of the primary crew. I literally said that.
Okay. All right. Good night, ladies. Have a good evening.
all right, bye, baby. We appreciate you, Blake. It's good to have a difference in opinion, and a lot of times we're here to learn and bounce off each other. So maybe you can stew on it and kind of see our point. Viewpoint. Okay, bye. Anyway, LT says black people are the group of people that have been discriminated against the most in America. They also wanted black people to spice it up a bit since they were losing ratings. And
We got spiced the fuck up.
Tish, if you don't take that R word shit off your head, you look like you was a snowstorm. Ratings. LT say ratings. So anyway, with all that being said,
Hold on, I want to go through some more of the comments before you go out because
I didn't
we
anymore.
kind of skipped them.
Uh-huh.
Okay. LT says she doesn't respect Will, not appreciate him. She doesn't trust his leadership, and he shouldn't be with her. That part. Okay.
Hmm.
What we saw was a lifetime of anger and sadness. We talked about that one.
Hmm.
When the daughter is writing letters to the man you love, who is not her father, we have a huge problem. How disrespectful. What the hell was Jada saying in front of that child for that child to write Tupac a letter? A man that died before she was born.
I mean,
What the hell was she saying?
their marriage is definitely dysfunctional, and
As fuck.
She says she put it on him.
I mean, whoever she puts it on, she puts it on everybody too. I mean, I had a clue. Go ahead, Kay.
Will
She said
can't
he
see
get
she isn't
around.
right for him. Yes,
I mean,
that
I
is
mean,
absolutely true.
but at the same time, you know, when you're the man of your household, it's up to you on how things should go down. And you know, maybe he's gonna learn, you know, with Denzel praying with him, you know, from his rehab, that he needs to get some kind of handle on his situation. Because if it was up to Will would just be a simple married man, you know, picket fence, well, whatever. But Jada brings that element of bullshit, you know, that he's probably not, you know, into, and is starting to rear his ugly head. You know, but at the same time, everyone marriage is their own marriage. If he like it, we have no choice but to love it. You know what I'm saying? You know, just unfortunately, it kind of spilled over into all of our, you know, our lives, and, you know, and what we saw.
Hmm. LT said part of it was that his dad abused his mom and he felt helpless. He looked over and saw Jada's expression. He wanted to gain her respect, so felt the need to put a show on for her. That's quite possible. And then Jada said he overreacted. I didn't need his protection.
Yeah, that was such an asshole.
Um, Funny how she laughed after Will slapped Chris. Now, that is true. Common Sense TV said, funny how she laughed after Will slapped Chris. But actually, if you watch that video of her laughing, she laughed after Chris made his comment that Will, who had already turned around and was walking back to the table when uh, Chris said, Will Smith just slapped the shit out of me.
Mm-hmm.
That's when she laughed. Now, I'm pretty sure she was smirking before that, but we can't see her face. So until there's a camera angle showing that, we can't really say she laughed when he said that, when he slapped her. But she didn't actually laugh. Her body didn't move in a laughing way until after Chris made his comment. Now, that being said, because I saw on some different Facebook feeds and stuff like that, where people were saying, you know, he was protecting his wife, and you know, I've been married this long, and I would protect my wife. Do this. First of all, let me tell you how you protect your wife. You protect your wife, your family. You protect the bag first. Okay. Now, I'm gonna tell you what's not gonna happen. If I had been in Jada's position and someone said something to me that could be considered disrespectful or whatever, and my husband made a move, I would have grabbed his arm. There is no way on earth I would have allowed my husband to put himself in a situation that could fuck up the bag, cause him to lose his life, cause him to lose his income, cause him to lose anything.
But
Okay? So a real woman would have stopped him and said, don't do it. Whatever it was he was thinking, don't do it. And if he was a real man, if he really wanted to address that, he could have made Chris feel like real shit when he got up and gave his speech for his Oscar that he knew he was going to win. He could have sat there and said, at that point in time, my wife has this condition, blah, 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 blah. And then left Chris looking like shit for making fun of it. And then that would have given Chris an opportunity to apologize as well. That's what a real man does, and that's what a real woman does. There's no way on earth I would have allowed my husband to go up there and do anything that could jeopardize our future. It ain't worth it.
Ooh, what you have to say about that?
Yeah, so with that, I mean, I completely agree. When you're talking about, you know what, there should be no instance where you just let, you know, your significant other just go up there and ruin their life. He could have, if he had went to jail that night, and if he had lost even more than just, you know, the money, if he actually, you know, went to jail and then he lost all his sponsorships and everything else, the respect of everybody, you know, the friendship he had for over 30 years with, you know, with Chris Rock and his family, you know, because they worked together for like many years. You know, if he had went and lost everything, Jada still would not have respected his decision, just like how she doesn't respect it now.
Right. Yeah.
And it would have been utterly worthless. I mean, like and also another thing is, it's really crazy how the Oscars doesn't have any security. Like they should have stopped him before he even walked up on the stage.
I mean, but they were all in like company, so they
I
wouldn't
would
think
think
that,
anybody thought he was going to hit him.
right.
Even still, I mean, like think about it like this, right? You go to a concert, you can't just walk up on the stage. You know what I mean? Especially something that is like full of rich celebrities, right? And their family and friends. It's a family event. They should have at least some security, right? Maybe not even stop him when he got up there, but after he slapped him, they should have had somebody shown before he even started yelling. Come up there and see about him. You know what I mean? Like, they said that they asked him to leave after all that happened.
He said no, right?
Yeah, he refused to leave.
And they didn't make him. They didn't make him.
They didn't make him. They said, okay, go up there and accept your award. Like they didn't, completely overshadowed a lot of people who got their Oscars. So shout out to Samuel L. Jackson, right? Is another person who won his Oscar as well.
I didn't even know he won.
He won an Oscar?
Yeah, it was.
For what?
Let me see. Because I remember seeing him. Yeah, he won an Oscar for. Is it him?
And Blake says it was staged. He's still holding on. It was staged.
Yeah, so it was Samuel L. Jackson receives first ever Oscar from Denzel Washington. And then it says, I'm really proud of Samuel L. Jackson is thrilled to receive his first Oscar despite having been on screen for most of his life. Jackson, 73, had never won an Oscar up until this weekend. It doesn't say what he won it for. But I just know he has like some pictures of him and Denzel Washington.
Well, a story to tell say he won an Oscar for hugging Will Smith after the slap.
And the fact that they gave him a fucking standing ovation.
It was for Pulp Fiction.
Shit was ridiculous.
For Pulp Fiction.
I don't know. Sorry, I'm sorry.
Uh-oh.
Never mind. It doesn't say that. It says on Friday, the Pulp Fiction star. Never mind.
Okay. Hey, Poppy. What's up, baby?
Hey, Poppy.
How you doing, Miss K?
What's up, Poppy?
How you doing, sweetie?
I'm good. What's up, Tish? Take that shit off your head, man. Oh, please. I can take you serious. You got that on your head. What up, BTB?
Hey, what's up, Poppy? How you doing, man?
Good,
What you got to say?
Because
you about to bring it to a close. What you got to say real quick, honey?
Oh, no. We going overtime now. I'm here now.
Oh, hell no.
I know. Oh, yes, we are. I'm here.
Well, I don't have no dick for you tonight, so.
Here we go, okay, with her freaky ass, man. Like, yo, let that man live, yo. We gonna have to get him a side piece or something.
Why you trying to mess up my happy home?
That was nasty. Finally, Kay is getting something.
I'm not worried. You see any worry on his face?
It's the back of your head now. I'm hating now. I'm a hater. I'm a professional hater.
Look, he drove an hour and a half to get the same punani he been getting for almost 30 years. 3 hours if you count the round trip.
Yeah. Okay, to answer your question, he won honorary Academy Award. Okay. It just says honor, so that's what it was.
Who, Samuel L. Jackson?
He didn't win for a specific role. It just says honorary award.
Oh, he probably was playing like he probably was, how you call that? The best supporting cast, maybe one of those.
I think it's just the fact that he's been in the game for like most of his life, and he's 73 years old.
Yeah, give him his flowers.
I thought he was older, bro. I thought he was older because
who?
Samuel Jackson? No, I thought he was younger, actually.
Hell no! Ever since I'm in my 30s, man. Ever since I was little, when I started watching the movie, he was already old.
Yeah, he's
just like Morgan Freeman. I never saw a movie with Morgan Freeman with black hair. Every time I see Morgan Freeman movie,
he was born old.
He was almost 30 when he started acting.
80.
He's almost
How
30.
Morgan Freeman? He got to be at least 75 to 80.
Yeah, Morgan Freeman old. But that's God, right?
I never seen a movie with Morgan Freeman when he was young.
Shit, he
Never.
literally played God.
He's 84.
Oh wow, who Mark? Oh, Samuel Jackson.
Morgan
Morgan
Freeman.
Oh, okay,
No,
okay.
Samuel Jackson's like 60, 62,
No,
something like
Samuel
that.
Jackson is 73.
Hell no.
No, he's not.
That's what I was
73 years
saying. I
old.
didn't think he was that old either. Exactly.
Wow.
They old. He's still acting though. Did you see that
He's
movie he was
still
in? It was like last year he came out. That was a fantastic movie. It was I gotta look it up.
Hold on, a story to tell said Morgan Freeman was 60 for 60 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He turned 70.
So Poppy, so what do you were talking a lot of trash about our list. So is something you shouldn't be on there or shouldn't something that should be added or what how do you feel about the list, Poppy?
It's only like 3 things that should be on that list. I don't know why people made those kind of lists. That ain't gross. When you going grocery shopping or something? Well, why you need that long ass list? What
10
the
is
heck?
a good number.
No, more like 10.
I haven't given to you a jackass.
You
man.
just need like 4 things. You just like need to fucking suck and know how to cook and shut the fuck up, man. That's it. Men don't require too
I do
much, yo.
believe that STFU needs to be on the list. That's a good point.
STFU.
All right.
Yeah, yeah,
Sometimes you
man.
need
Like
to shut the fuck up. Everything is not worth fighting over. Pick your
exactly.
battles. And but that's marriage advice. That's not dating advice per se. Excuse me, courting advice
Right.
per
I mean,
se.
he applies too, though. He applies
Yeah,
because
you
nobody
do
want to be with a
definitely don't
nagging
need
person.
to be, and you need to be consistent with that. You can't just not be a bitch before the wedding and then start being a bitch after the wedding.
So let me ask you this, Poppy. Are you interested in getting married if you were to find the right woman today or in the next couple of weeks or so or months or what? Are you it's totally off the
Yeah,
table?
yeah. I mean, that's always possible. I mean,
No, I mean, are you what would you
we
be
all
what
want to. Yeah, yeah. Like I say, can you let me answer? Can you talk? Can I talk? First, I'm not gonna answer till you take that off your head, man. I cannot really. I'm thinking like I'm being punk or something.
don't worry, I'm not gonna sneak you into a marriage. Calm down. Go ahead. What's your answer?
That kind of scared me. You probably scared about man BTV with that shit in your head, man. Looking like a Taliban.
It is I love
But
he said
yeah, man.
a story to tell said Poppy just put together a great list on the spot.
That's
You
the
did.
list for every man, yo. Like it's not that complicated, yo. Like just 4 simple. Man is the most simple creature to like please, yo.
Right.
Like look, yes, know how to cook a little bit. You don't even have to be a great chef. You have to be just decent at this point, 2022, right? Uh, Obviously the sex part, you know what I mean, gotta be up to par. You know what I mean? Please this man, and just don't bother this man too much, yo. Like me personally, don't bother me on Sundays. Leave me the fuck alone.
What's that,
Sunday is my
football?
personal day.
You are such an
Yes.
old man. That's some old man
Ye-
shit.
No, I'm
You
telling. No, I love football and in the NBA too. So
okay?
Saturday and Sunday, matter of fact, leave me alone the weekend. I don't want to listen. When I used to live with the mother of my child, I used to tell her, "Yo, ask me whatever you want from Monday to Friday, Monday to Saturday. I don't want to be bothered on Sunday." And she was like, "Okay, okay." And guess what? Like clockwork, she used to fuck with me on a Sunday, yo. Talk about go here and go there. I'm like, yo, I don't want to go nowhere. I want to just be in the bed watching every single game that come on TV. That's it. That's all I want to do.
And
It
that's
just
fair. If that's something that you really want, that's fair. That is fair. That's on your list. On your
no,
yeah.
but most men operate. I'm pretty. I mean, Kay, she the only married person. She probably can explain it better than me. Like, it's probably certain days that her husband be like, "Yo, man, I don't want to be bothering me. I just want to be at home, smoking cigar, drinking whiskey, whatever he might do, but just to leave me alone." And she probably they've been married for what 30 years, so she probably understand that they got a dynamic going on that works for both of them.
I
Like,
give him all the
and she
space he
probably tell him
wants.
too, like, yeah. You see, Kay, like, 'cause she be coming over here sounding rough, but I know she's a little submissive, a
I always
little,
say I'm submissive.
well,
I'm very submissive.
yeah, Yeah, but you be trying to give it to the man, like you be trying to like go rough on men over here.
I mean,
That's no that.
that just because I'm submissive to him doesn't make me submissive to anyone else.
No. I'm not saying you have to be submissive. This is the internet. You don't have to be submissive to nobody.
Right.
But I'm saying
Right.
like when you talk to people over here, you don't come off as submissive, but I can see right through you.
Yeah.
I know you
I'm
like a
very
yes daddy kind of woman.
I'm a what?
Yes, daddy.
You're a
Yeah, I do.
yes daddy kind of woman.
I do. Actually, sometimes I call him Papi.
Oh shit! Don't be giving my name to everybody, man. He ain't one of us. He's not a city boy.
Thank God. So okay. So what's your list again? Because I like your list. Your list is short and to the point. It's not as
Suck, fuck,
comprehensive.
cook, and shut the fuck up.
The number one will be yes. Please don't make my life harder, which is like shut the fuck up. That's like I think this is like a universal rule that every man would want. I don't care what race you is, I don't care
Right.
what color, what religion, but I think this go across the board. Please do not make my life harder than what it is, which is
Okay.
like shut up. Like not necessarily like shit up. Obviously I like to hear what you have to say, but like goddamn, I don't want you to be combative all the time. And
Okay.
number two would be like the sex part. You know what I mean? You have to be up to par. You have to be
Okay.
up to par. Number three would be you gotta know how to cook and cook. Me, I'm a clean freak, yo.
Okay.
So in that regard, she probably gonna get a lot of help from me because I cannot go to sleep if my kitchen is dirty,
Right.
and I cannot go to sleep if my closet is like all messed up. I got like
Right.
OCD probably when it comes to that, yo, like for real. And
Mm-hmm.
guess what? Most women closet, are queens are having a messy closet, yo. I can't
Okay.
do it. I need to be able to walk into the closet, yo. And what
I
will be
have a
number
messy
4
closet
years
too.
like that, huh?
No, I should. I wish my sister, because I'm at my sister's house right now. I wish I could show you her closet, like the neatest shit you'll ever see in life.
And just like just like those few things, and most men would be happy, yo. It's
Okay.
like it's not complicated at the same time. It is complicated because people like to make it complicated. And I think
Well,
when people start making it complicated, it's because they go growing apart. So they say, you know.
well, I'm gonna go back to my original statement where I don't believe this list is how you get a man. I think your list is closer to how you get a man. This
Mm-hmm.
list is more about how to prepare yourself for getting a man, for getting a husband. This is the things that, well, I think the list could work either way because the list is really just about honesty. Um, but for women to make sure they need to be a whole person before they can even consider themselves ready for marriage. Everybody
Now,
wants to be
okay.
married, but nobody's willing to put in the work required to get to the place where you are actually ready for marriage more than just wanting to be married.
Now, okay, let me say this real quick. Is that I hope that she already is with the man before she starts doing any of those things listed in
What
that
the
Poppy
suck
had
for?
listed.
I would hope
Like
so.
I was like, dang, at least have the man already before you start
Right.
doing all that.
Exactly. His list is for the after. This is for the our list is for the before. You got to do some prep work first.
Right. Yeah, because a lot of us we just go right into it and no game plan or whatnot like that, and you end up with a lot of
Oh no, the
divorces,
game
right,
plan is to
Poppy?
suck it fucking suck it and fucking. That's the game plan. And no, that does not get you a husband. That's not
But
gonna
the
work.
problem is, it's like in the past, what from my own observation, I don't got no numbers to back me up on this. It's just like the reason why people, men and women, ain't working together no more is because society kind of dictates that, and women love to hear other women's advice. That's the because, for example, let's say me and BTV are like homies in real life. Like let's say I live in Georgia, whatever, right? And BTV turn around and tell me, yeah, man. Let's say BTV he's married. He be like, man, I'm ready to get divorced, bro. Oh man, I can take this bitch. Most likely, most men gonna. I mean, I'm gonna. What I would tell him, like, hey, bro, I think you might want to retake that, bro, because the first thing I would tell him, like, yo, it's ugly out there, fam. I don't know if you want to do that. And number two, which should be number one. Like, yo, you're gonna lose a whole you're gonna lose a whole lot of stuff, bro. Like, you will most if you got kids with it, if BTV had kids with that girl, he got to get out the house. She keep it the house. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So what I'm trying to say is what I would tell him is, and you might want to kind of work that out. You see what I'm saying? You might want to like find a way, because I did this for my friend before that was trying to leave the woman. Like, yo, bro, you ain't going. I was like, bro, you might as well stay there, man, because if you break up, guess what? You gonna push some child support. You got 2 or 3 kids. You're gonna go from living in the house now. You gotta go to a studio or something like that, and your life will be all stressed out. That now, women, and I hear this all the time. When a woman is ready to leave her man, yo, women empower that shit, yo. She was like, yeah, girl, leave him, man. Because women look like misery love company. I seen that all the time, yo. I seen that all the time. It's like 2 different advices. When a man is advising another guy, he always kind of like me personally, I tell him like, yo, you might want to stay. You see what I'm saying? Because women always tell him like, yeah, girl, leave him. You need to leave him alone. You can do better. That's the first thing they say.
What
Oh,
I
you
call
can
it, the
do better
big
than
bitch
him.
committee.
Yeah, so like you can do better, and I'd be like, I ain't gonna lie, yo. That's why I love to listen. I love listening to women talk, because they let you know all the fucked up shit that goes through their head, and that make you, and then you start taking notes. But females love to give other women the worst advice they can possibly get, and I figured it out, yo, because they want other women to be as submissive as they are.
I agree.
And that's what it comes down to.
And that's
That's what it comes down to.
That's an excellent point. So basically, on the list, we should add, watch the circle you have, because I do have a lot of, a lot of times I've talked women out of, and they'd be so surprised when I say, no, don't leave your man, work it out, da, da, da. And they're so surprised because they're expecting the sisterhood of, I'm single, so you should be single too. And yeah, you should leave him. You don't have to put up with da, 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 da. As long as it's not like a bunch of cheating or domestic violence or whatever, stick that shit out, write that shit out, so I've learned
I've
that.
become an advocate of, what do you want to do? That's what I like. What do you want to do? Okay, and why do you want to do that? Okay, well then run with that. I've learned telling women to leave or telling them to stay, not my place. What you want to do? Because they're gonna do what they want to do at the end of that anyway.
And I would
And if
like
they
to
do
know
the
why,
opposite of what you
because
said, now they mad at you for saying it. So
I would like to know why women say those messed up advices to their hunger, and especially like, you can do better, like, because there is no, like, most likely there is nothing better out there, yo. Like, at least this man like married to you, or even like they boyfriend and girlfriend. It's always like a long time relationship. So
I said it to one girl years ago that she could do better, and she didn't leave at that point in time, but she got mad at me for saying it. This is one of the reasons why I don't say it anymore. But and she did leave, and she did find better, because the man was just shitting all over her. She was a beautiful girl, intelligent, had a lot going for her, and he was a piece of shit, and she could do so much better. But she got mad at me for saying that. I still to this day don't understand what happened there. But it's like, come on. You
are they together
love
today?
yourself enough to want more. Huh?
Are they together today?
No, she left. She's happily married
Oh, she married. Okay,
to
so it worked
somebody
out for
else.
her.
She left the piece of shit, maybe a year or so after I told her to. And she's married, happily married to someone who's much better for her. But she got
Yeah,
mad
I
at me
get
for
it.
telling her to leave. That's why I don't tell people that anymore. And I usually don't give that advice, but he really was dogging her out, and she just deserves so much better. So,
I mean,
women are
the
gonna do what they're
only
gonna
the
do.
only time the only time I will like kind of give my little 2 cents,
Mhm.
if the man is beating on the woman, or the woman beating on the man. Now you gotta go, because then that's not gonna get any better anytime soon. But if it is cheating, I think that can be it can be worked
Of
out.
course you do. Of course you think so.
I think
I
so.
don't necessarily think cheating is a deal breaker per se. I think it really just depends on the situation.
It depends.
You know, it
Yeah.
really does. So I like I said, I don't tell people that they need to leave, even if infidelity is a problem. Um, I don't necessarily say it if there's physical violence because, again, until that person's ready to leave, they're not leaving. You know, I will tell them they need to start working on their exit plan. You know, you need to be ready to go and start working it out. I know a chick, her job got tired of her getting her ass whooped, and they made arrangements for her to transfer so she can get the fuck up out of there, you know, kind of thing. So,
Yeah,
but she,
you gotta
so there
go.
was a plan in place. There was a plan in place, and you can't just leave. Anybody that's just leaving is stupid. I don't care what you're doing. If you're like, for instance, if a woman said, okay, her man is cheating on her and she's fed up with it, or she thinks she's cheating, she's got proof. First of all, never tell someone you have proof that they're cheating on you. Okay, don't ever do that. All they're gonna do is cheat better. If you think they're cheating, gather your evidence and stack your paper. Okay, so when you leave, you can stay gone, and you can. And if you're married, you can take that mug to court. But yeah, don't tell somebody they cheating. They just gonna get better at it. That's pointless. Oh, she back with the. Okay, time to go.
Oh no, I got I had a break. I'm missing trip over my veil. I'm
I'm
missing trip
sorry,
over
you did what?
I'm missing trip over my train, my wedding
Oh,
train,
your veil. Oh,
my veil, and it has knocked everything out of place. But it is
Like,
time.
oh god, this is the most ridiculous music ever.
So
Okay, how you allow this, man?
I have no control over this. I
so
am I am 150. Well, no, I'm about 200 miles away from her right now. I cannot stop her.
so whenever the
Jesus
bride,
Christ, you
so
guys.
at a fashion show, the show is over when the bride comes out. So the bride is here, and so until next time, any last words, Poppy?
No,
Great, great,
no,
great
I'm
list,
okay.
great list. And if every woman just shut the
It
fuck
was
up,
a it
they
was a
can have a
retarded
good one.
list that y'all put together, so that's why I jump in here and kind of correct the list. Y'all was over here
Whatever.
bombarding my man. Y'all was jumping on my man BTB over here, so he needed a backup. So I have to come over here a little bit toxic masculinity. Come over here real quick.
I know exactly. Hey, thank you, Vega. We appreciate you, hon. BTB. Any last words?
Just want to say thank you guys for having me up.
Well, tthank you. We always appreciate you. You always bring insight as
Absolutely.
well as Poppy and everyone. Who is this? Who's trying to pop up?
Uh
Hold on. Who is that? I
Uh
can't
uh.
see. Who is that? Oh, really? This is when you come,
Your
really?
husband.
oh.
Hey,
Hey,
sweetie.
Hey,
How you
ladies.
doing?
he
What
wanted
happened
to
to 5 minutes?
I
he
was in
wanted
the
to honor
chat.
the veil.
I was in the chat the whole time.
I know, and we appreciate you. Now you say you're ready for a wife, so this is a perfect example
Not
as well.
you.
No, you didn't. I mean, if I listen, if I want you, I'll put that heat on you.
Uh
You know
I
what to
ain't,
do.
yo, real talk.
Okay.
I
The
ain't pussy
heat.
whip. I'm immune to that dumb shit. Like that. Let's not try me on that one.
uh.
I mean, I
Somebody
like a
getting
big.
called out.
Yeah. I mean, I'm immune to all that. I turned chicks down in high school. So let's go.
Oh, and you know what? He's just trying to set me up to chase his ass. I'm not falling for that.
Hey,
Anyway,
I
so
speak
what you
facts. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Oh, my
you
bad. We live. I'm like throwing myself. Yo.
you know we was live.
No,
I mean,
I
but
really didn't pay attention. I was like, is they done yet? Because I saw Poppy. Like, I ain't gonna lie. I was about to throw some shade on Poppy because he was. Yeah, go ahead. I ain't gonna throw him on the bus like that.
I mean, I mean, but you dissing me was a turn on, so I might chase you.
Oh,
Anyway,
bye.
so
Uh
what
oh.
What's going on, Vega? What's going on, everybody?
what do you
What's up?
so how do you feel about the list before we close out? How do you feel about the list?
I actually saw it when I was coming in, but I
Mhm.
mean, if it works for you, it works for you. I mean, it don't work for me 100%. It just
Okay.
you just have to vet wisely and see what you want for yourself versus what the woman wants, and then take it from there. That's it.
Okay, so you don't think being intentional or not having a representative or anything that wasn't important? You think?
What you mean a representative for?
As in, not be your true authentic self. Don't have a representative. You know.
Well, you could be your authentic self, but at the end of the day, I mean, you still gonna be you. But I mean, like, what are you talking about compromising? Like, what are we really compromising?
Like women who say, "Well, I'm gonna cook for you every day," and then once you get married, they're getting you Uber Eats, like I would do,
Oh
right,
yeah,
Poppy?
that actually started happening. Then it's a time to like look back, but it still come back down to vetting. I mean, like Kay's a perfect example. Like that's somebody that you want as a wife. Like she stayed in her square from the beginning.
Me too. Anyway, as you were. Why are you letting this happen, Kay? Where's my girl at?
What you want me to say?
Something.
Don't censor me. Don't censor me. But yeah, if it comes down to that, it's still like a contradiction. You gotta vet properly. I say this all the time. I'm gonna still keep saying it. You gotta vet properly. You gotta vet wisely. If work on yourself first, men and women, especially these women that talking about they boss babes and this, that, third. But just know a man still gotta be a man, just like a woman still gotta be a woman.
Right.
We get it. And I'm gonna throw a little nugget in there for y'all ladies.
Okay.
It is not really demasculating, but you still trying to make your man feel like a man. If he paying for the dinner, but he's not doing the tip, go ahead on that table, slip them little 5 or 10 or 20 or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like he presented out there, on the table. So for all those to see, that would make a man feel like a man. It's those little things that keep us going. Okay. But if y'all out there,
I'm sorry, repeat that. She need to do what?
I'm giving an example because this pretty much happened to me a long time ago. Dinner was paid for, didn't have the tip, and she went under the table and like kind of slipped me a little 5 or 10. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, okay, yeah.
Little stuff like that. You know what I'm saying?
Instead of making it a big deal, like here you go.
Yeah. Because we just left from another stream. Like somebody said something where I brought up a conversation to say even with single parent moms, like they'll say some off the wall crazy stuff like your kid clearly is broke and he don't got no money, but his little piggy bank, he's like, hey mom, I got you. She's like, you can't afford this or you can't do something. Like don't say stuff like that when you got men little boys trying to become men. You say stuff like that, you're already on the wrong foot of demasculating that man. So when the next woman come up and they start saying some stuff, it's gonna either inflict something in him mentally, emotionally, for life. So don't do that. So yeah, vet properly to the woman you want. Men, vet properly to the women you want. Women, vet properly to the men you want. But just understand at the end of the day, a woman still got to be a woman. A man got to still be a man. Have these foundations of conversations, but also remember the form of the conversation sometimes changes when you're a girlfriend, boyfriend, when you're a fiance, when y'all living together, when you're a husband and wife. And then even if you're husband and wife, over time, the levels of conversations kind of break up. But as long as you hold your square on the basis of your foundation, you're good.
Okay. Wow, okay. You really thought this out. Okay.
Grown man here, Jersey represent.
That's what's up.
Hey, got it. Oh yeah, let me get off the street because Kay about to start saying.
I'm not. I'm being good. I'm being good.
So great pill. It's me and my baby. You don't want to take care of us?
Yo, stepdaddy system.
I got the veil on.
Poppy, I'm trying to be no thank you. No, thank you.
Okay, what if I hide the baby?
Huh?
What if I hide the baby?
Then I won't respect you.
But your crazy ass still got on the veil.
I play husband for a weekend.
Work with us.
Yeah.
You hear what Poppy said? He said he'll play husband for a weekend.
That's what they're gonna do. That's what's gonna happen.
I love being a husband for a weekend, yo. That's like the best job ever.
I personally, I like real women. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like even like I don't mess with married women and stuff like that, but I love a real woman. You know what I'm saying? Even if she was in a relationship and I didn't know, but she's like, look, this what it is, because she already know what's going on her side of the fence. Hey, this what it is. It ain't gonna be long. Let's be straightforward about that. We're good. I had a woman do the same thing. I couldn't get mad at her. I couldn't have an attitude with her. She treated me like Eddie Murphy from Boomerang. Had my sheets up like this, like that. She turned me out. Okay,
That's how I have you. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, all right. I'll let Poppy deal with you. I'll deal with Kay. How about that?
And before the billions,
Top rope, Kay.
And before the billions, any last words? Now, are you interested in getting married anytime soon, or you have like some more years you want to look at since you're so young?
I got some more years on me.
Okay, all right. And so, okay, so anything about the list we should have added on? Well, you said the cheating and being basically
I missed something. Before the billions, you have a girlfriend, right?
I do.
Okay, and you still not ready to propose?
Straight face.
You know what? I wrote down the 3 things the lead attorney said. He said you got to have a prenup, you got to have self-awareness, and you got to have a really good reason.
Okay, and
you
said you don't have those 3 things?
Yeah, I don't have those 3 things.
You don't have a good reason?
He said a really good reason.
Do you want to spend the rest of your life with her?
You know what? I do, but
that's not a good reason.
In that way,
you know what?
Like I can spend the rest of my life with her as my girlfriend too. But that's the thing is that getting married is going to be like something more than just love, right?
Question: does she want to get married?
She does.
Okay, just
you know what? Okay, this is the classic example of lack of boundaries, and she's not making that a fire truck emergency. I would have you stressed. You would be like,
if she said propose or goodbye, what would you do?
Oh, he would say goodbye. You could tell.
You know what? It would have to be like
I know what you would say, Poppy.
It had to have some sort of deadline, right? If she said,
okay,
like,
she said you got till July 4th to propose.
It's too early then. But then if he said
then you would say goodbye.
Before we 30.
No. You're not gonna get all them years. I'm asking you right now. If she said you got to propose by the 4th of July, by Independence Day, if I don't have a ring on my finger
of this year, you got to be specific.
2022.
There we go.
Mm-hmm.
That's not fair, Kay.
No, it's just a question.
Because
to me, the difference is, can you live without her? Do you want to live without her?
Yes, he can't live without her. So
is she worthy of your last name?
Hold on.
If your answer to that is no, then let her go.
But they're still young, Kay. So that's the.
That sounds kind of crazy, Kay. Like I gotta disagree with you on that part.
How long have y'all been together? How long have y'all been together? How long have y'all been together?
All right, we have been together for 5 years.
5 years. Are you over 25?
I just turned. Well, I'm 26. So.
Okay, so you're over 25, right? You want her to wait 4 years.
Well, actually, just 3 more years. I'm about to turn 27. So.
Okay, then you did not just turn 26.
How about this, Kay?
No, I misspoke. I misspoke when said just.
You want that man to get married so much? How about you so much into marriage? Me and you get married. You get remarried. How about that?
What? What'd you say?
You get remarried. How about you want that?
I'm gonna get remarried.
We get remarried. How about that?
How do we get remarried when we aren't married?
Great pill.
You gonna make me a bigamist? Okay.
It's America, goddamn. We do what we want.
Great pill. Great
That's
pill.
a hard question.
Hold on, great pill. I mean, you probably got confused by the veil, but I'm single. I'm not married.
Poppy, come get your goddamn girl, man.
All I know is Kay, I disagree with you. Trying to put pressure on that man, talk about he can live without her. He was born alone. He gonna die alone. So nobody over here died with like for a woman. Only a sucker would do that.
I agree with the story.
I didn't say he was dying for a woman. I didn't say that. I'm just saying, can you live without her? If you can live without her, then that's not the woman you're supposed to marry.
Now, okay, let me say it like this then. And I'm gonna.
And I disagree, Kay, because hold on 1 second. Because the reason why. Go ahead.
Let me go ahead and answer right quick.
Let the man dig his own hole. Go ahead.
Let me go ahead and answer right quick. I gotta be blunt with it. Is that quite literally? I agree with the story to tell. He says I can most definitely live on with life. I have actually brought this up before. Not necessarily saying I don't want to be with you, but saying like if you were to leave me tomorrow, I wouldn't necessarily die. Okay. And you know what I mean? Like quite literally. Right? Like I'm not necessarily completely dependent where, oh, you know what? You're the only person I can ever be with or anything like that. and simply because that would be, you know, what be kind of weak as a man to be like, oh, if somebody were to leave you, oh, now life is over.
Okay.
Because it's almost
okay,
like,
of course, live without this is not literal. It is not literal. Of course, you can live without that person. You're going to be able to breathe just fine. Heart's not going to stop working. I mean,
some guys don't
do
have
you
that
feel
kind
like
of
that
control.
person enriches your life? And that's not something you want to live without.
well, I would say this is that I would rather be with her, right? Because I do actually gain from having her in my life, right? Simply because, well, it's a few things, right? I don't necessarily have a whole bunch of friends myself. I have friends through her, so that's just one of those things, right?
Oh, so you lose the friends too.
Whoa, whoa,
Exactly.
whoa,
I lose the
whoa, whoa! What's
friends, and
going on
then
here? Like you friends with her friends? That's not a good math, my man.
man, that's how it is, man. That is how it is.
Poppy
You
don't
gotta
like
have your
that.
own
You gotta
friends.
keep your own
No, for real.
friends.
I
No, I actually do agree with that. You should have your own
matter of fact, is that I've said this on one of my live streams, is that I have somebody I'm scared to call them my friend because they're gonna call me gay if I say that they my friend. So it's like stuff like that.
What kind of people's you around?
I swear to God,
I mean,
this dude,
Poppy, my
was
friend.
I'm gonna
like,
assume. I'm
But
gonna
I
assume
don't
you
see
talk
it. I'm
about
like,
girls, right?
that was the dude. The dude was like, he said
He
this.
gay?
We were at work. We were at work, and he like, I was like, oh yeah, we cool or whatever. I was like, he call you gay quick, but that's just his sense of humor. But I was just like,
how old
man,
is he?
same age as me.
He retarded. Yeah, he retarded.
But yeah, I was like, when I heard that, I was like, dang, it's hard. And then when I think about like
I love
friends
people
I
like
made
that.
in
friends I made
in high school, college, I have them on social media, but they're not necessarily like, oh, I can call you up and you come and like you don't know where my house is. You don't like if I called you, you wouldn't be able to play no basketball. We wouldn't be able to hang out. Like I just don't have that. So I just by myself pretty much.
I'm by myself too.
I'm gonna get you.
No, the
I'm
hell
gonna
you're
get
not.
you.
Bob, tell you, man, come get your friend, man.
You're playing so hard to get. I'm gonna get you. You say, Storytell say, stay away from that guy before the billions.
Yeah, exactly. Story. That's ignorant thinking right there.
So like, if I wanna have a question, if you do you have like two homies that you can call and like kind of like chop it up? Like yo,
Nope.
you can call it yo, let's go have some drinks. No.
Nope, I don't have
So
a
you
soul.
so you have a girl like a girl that you can do the same thing to, like you can chop it up with her.
Actual female friend.
I mean, like, I got somebody who lives all the way in like Oakland, right? But the only thing that they talk about is having sex with other dudes, and I'd be kind of like, man, I don't feel like talking about this today.
This my thing. With
I
you,
just
Billy.
don't feel like
hold on.
Yeah, man, I don't believe in men and women being friends, so I don't know what's that about.
This my thing with you, Billy, because you're a cool dude.
Sometimes that's where you're gonna get your best advice from.
Bruh, facts.
As long as as long as that female or that male aren't trying to be counterproductive because they have their eyes set on you, they can be the best friend you've ever had because they can give you a different perspective.
Yep, and you can tell who's trying to get if they have their eye on you or not. Like, let's not play dumb because there's those little vibes and emotions are there. But I will say this because like Billy, you're a cool dude. I like you, bro. I don't care. People like, oh, homo. I'm not gonna do that non-pause crap. You know what I'm saying? Because I think you're in North South Carolina because my mom and my family
and I'm in
there
Georgia.
too.
I'm
okay,
in
well you're not. Oh yeah, my bad. That's right.
I'm in North Carolina. That's what you.
Anyway, so 3 hours away from me, bro. Anytime I'm up in Stone Mountain, I go visit my homeboy.
I'm in North Carolina.
Poppy.
Poppy is moderating.
Moderating to death.
You can get fired. But yeah, anytime I'm up in Stone Mountain, man, I got you.
Always hating, man.
I got you.
Man. Yes, sir. And then also thank you as well, a story to tell.
Aww.
Really do appreciate that.
Isn't this
Look at that. I love that brotherhood. I
I
love that.
know. For
Yo,
real.
BTV, man, I put my phone number in the back channel, man. You can call me anytime, bro. Anytime in the hour. You can say my number. You need some real men, some real gangsters
Ooh,
around
And
your,
I
you
don't
know what I
know if
mean?
you want
So
Poppy's
you can
advice.
talk to.
Poppy gonna have you
No,
on some
actually,
whole
you
shit.
want my advice, bro,
Poppy
because I
gonna
always
have
gonna
you
tell
on
you the
some
right
whole
thing.
shit. Poppy
hey,
So
I'm
you
your
I'm
can,
gonna
girl
add
ain't
you.
so
gonna
you
make
can go
it.
ahead, say my number, brother. I'm your new friend now because that kind of bothers me. You say you
Hey,
don't got
Billions.
no nigga
Hey,
friends out
Billions.
there. That's kind
He's
of crazy.
Hey Billy, he's the party
Yeah, I feel
friend.
you, man.
I
I got you, man.
I'm the
You
grown
good?
friend. Like I'll bullshit you a little bit. Like, all right, go ahead, Poppy, take it. But I'll add you into the Grandpa podcast group, bro, because we just shit around, say a little dumb stuff all the time. You know what I'm saying? So you're good, man.
Yeah, I
I,
appreciate
I was
that.
there for real. Like I like
But
BTV. Like he's a good
BTV,
he's a good
you come
guy.
across as a
Yeah,
really sweet guy. I
yeah.
don't know if I want Poppy
No,
in
no, about no
close to you.
sweet. Don't call him no sweet now,
He seemed
please.
like a nice
Let's not go
person. He
there.
seemed like a nice
That's what my friend
person.
did
Yeah,
call
he's a good
me.
guy.
Yeah.
That's my friend did call me. He called me
Because
sweet.
I believe a
No,
man
I
should
don't mean
have
it
at
that way.
least 2 or 3 homies, yo.
Yeah.
A man should
The
have
re-
at least two,
yeah.
three
I agree
guys
with
that
that.
you can actually call and chap it up. Like, hey man, this bitch get on my nerve. What happened, bro? Hey man, she did this and that. Maybe she's going through. Maybe it's her period, man. You know what I'm saying? That's my
Yeah,
answer for
Hey,
every
or
woman
not
problem
Yeah,
right
even
that's
there.
your
hey
answer for
Poppy,
everything.
hold on, Poppy. Not even that. Or like if you're effing up, let's say for example, and I'm not trying to throw you out there and say you that type of person, Billy, but let's just say you start creeping around and your homeboy that's actually married for 10 years, you're like, yo, you stupid, you effing up. Why would you do that? Don't you want to be listening? You told me you just in a relationship. Now you got a good girl. So you want those type of dudes around you to kind of keep
That's
you on
gonna
your
check you on
square.
your shit.
Yeah.
Right.
Because I got
That's
I got
how I
a
like
home.
my girls. I like my women, my female
Exactly.
friends to check me on my shit. Call me on my bullshit. I'm
Exactly.
cool with it.
Yeah, because I got one of my closest friends. Like again, but just to add to your perspective, like all my friends, because I'm in the South, I have like all everybody relates to first cousin, second. They're pretty much in a distant area. But like my boys, like from Jersey, as soon as I relocate, everybody's scattered all over the globe. You know what I'm saying? So I got to go to them or they come to me. But I do have a homeboy, like he was stationed overseas, they contract work. He's in Homestead, Florida. Now he's over there somewhere else in doing some contract work in South North Carolina. But anytime there was a problem, a phone number, a call, an email, when a pandemic hit, like, hey, I got you, man. Here's a lick. Boom. No question, no ask. You know what I'm saying? Even my pride, because me and him act alike, because my pride comes up. And you know how most men they're gonna try to I gotta fix it myself. I gotta fix myself next time you on the street.
right.
So, but he was there for me. So yeah, we got you, man. Next time I'm up
Yeah, I
there,
appreciate it.
you're gonna get that call.
But
Yeah, you know,
but BTB, the best thing to have as your best friend is your woman. So always focus
Wife.
on that.
Wife.
Well,
That's not his wife yet.
right, but it's
When his
but,
wife start acting up or she kick him out, guess who he should call? He gonna call Poppy and me, and we got him. Couch right there, son. Let's go.
I don't think your
oh
wife can supposed to be your friend though. I don't know about that dynamic.
yeah, oh
Well, she's supposed to be
Your
definitely.
wife
Why
everything.
would your wife
supposed to
not
be
be
your
your
wife.
friend?
She's supposed to be everything.
Your
Yeah.
wife's supposed to be your wife.
Yeah, Gray Pill. Yeah.
She's supposed to be everything.
Yeah, exactly, Gray Pill.
You call Rico?
I can't with you. I can't.
Well, either way, with that being said, I've had personally a wonderful time. I enjoyed the list. I hope y'all learned something from it. I did love Poppy's list. It was very short and to sweet and to the point. But the main thing is you should have a list. If you're ready for marriage, or if you're not mindset, ladies, we should be intentional. Men, we should be intentional as well. And marriage to me is like, it pales in comparison. I mean, degrees doesn't matter. Money doesn't, it's great. It doesn't matter. Just having that person to share your life with, to have your back, that is everything. And that's what I've learned from all of my marriages. So with that being said,
Why do you give Poppy ammo? Why? I just need to understand it.
because he's gonna do it anyway. So I mean,
Don't help him.
I mean, and plus, I want Angelus to know what's up, before I sink my claws into him. So since he want to play some fucking
Uh-oh.
City boys, we're not
She
up.
throwing that pussy around.
We are not up, city boys. We are not up.
He's like, she throwing that pussy around again. All right, guys, y'all take care. Y'all have a good night. Bye-bye.
You ready to go for real. Girl. Poppy, get your girl.